Live from the soccer complex on the campus of Brooklyn College, you're watching Semifinals CUNYAC Championship coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet. This afternoon, the College of Staten Island will take on Lehman College for the right to face Brooklyn College, who just defeated CCNY earlier this afternoon. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Babuski along with Dave Pizzuto, and we will be joined by men's head soccer coach John Tardy shortly as we get ready for the College of Staten Island and Lehman College, a game that the College of Staten Island is forced to compete in after losing to Brooklyn College here just a couple of weeks ago by a final score of 1-0. And Dave, for the College of Staten Island, they're looking to bounce back on the women's side after suffering a very tough defeat on the men's side.
Yeah, Mike, it's a familiar place for the Dolphins. They've been here, many years in a row, as have the CSI men's team. Of course, not a favorable result for the men. They fell to this same Lehman College team on the men's side 1-0 on Saturday. Now it's the women's turn in the semifinals, a chance to get back to the championship. Mike, a semifinal round where the Dolphins have never lost. They're 6-0 coming into this semifinal game. It's a renewed rivalry with Lehman, who they've been playing a lot over the past few years, and it should be a real good one. These two teams were very good last year, very good again this year, on the plus side of 500 all year. A lot of playmakers on both sides, and we should see a pretty good game, and we're going to be thrilled when John's able to join us on the broadcast as well.
Yeah, and this game, a rematch of the 2015 CUNYAC championship that was won by the College of Staten Island by a final score of 2-1 in overtime. And in the regular season this year, Dave, the Dolphins also were victorious. They won the game by a final score of 2-0, a close game. Krista Anson picked up her second goal to open the scoring for the Dolphins, and then Sandra Karagazla picked up a goal in the second half, and that accounted for the Dolphins' 2-0 win, a game that the Dolphins played very well in.
Yeah, you know what, Mike? It was a good game, but statistically, the Dolphins just absolutely dominated that game. They had the ball on Lehman's side of the field, almost a full 90 minutes. They outshot Lehman 27-4 in that game, and it was really shocking to all of us who were there because, of course, we remember Lehman being so powerful the year before. And it was a weird game, Mike. It started late. I don't know if you remember. They played the game with only one official because there was a big delay with the officiating that game. So Lehman was kind of out of sorts from the very beginning of that game, and it showed throughout. Chelsea Harris, their dynamic playmaker, rarely touched the ball in the first half at all. Lehman got going a little bit more in the second half, but again, it was all Dolphins all day in that game, and it was 1-0 for a real long period, and then Shenda Karagazla scored that second goal very late in that game to make it 2-0. So scoreboard showed it close. Playing style and possession was dominated by the Dolphins, and Lehman is hoping for a reversal of their fortunes during the regular season.
Yeah, and the College of Staten Island coming into this tournament as the number 2 seed. And Dave, earlier tonight, Brooklyn College was able to advance into the finals for the second consecutive year as they were able to defeat CCNY by a final score 3-0, Dave. And I know you saw that one, and Brooklyn looked good again. CCNY it sounded like CCNY put up a pretty good fight.
Yeah, in the second half especially, Brooklyn took a 2-0 lead into halftime, and then they added another third goal early in the second, and from there they were able to kind of cruise to a win. But CCNY put up a few shots there at the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes. They kind of controlled play, and Brooklyn was resorted to the counterattack. But Brooklyn scored, I believe it was in the 19th minute. Mike, they added another one right before halftime, about the 41st, 42nd minute. Took a 2-0 lead into halftime, and so Brooklyn, for the second time in 3 years, back in the championship. And, Mike, and not only are they the number 1 seed, but they're also the host institution. So they have a couple of things, on their side, knowing that they've beaten both Lehman and CSI as well. during the regular season definitely plays into their hands. So, Lehman and CSI, they'll have their hands full on Saturday, whoever advances. But first things first, they got to get through each other here on this beautiful night for soccer here on Wednesday evening.
Yeah, Dave, and we have a little bit of extra time here tonight. Games get to start a little bit late, originally scheduled to begin at 6:30, but we're still over 12 minutes away from the introductions of the players, so we do have a little bit of time. Let's take a look at the Dolphins in 2016. They finished the season a 10-4-2 record, just that one conference loss, that on the road against Brooklyn College by a score of 1-0. 7-1-1 at home, but did only go 2-3-1 on the road. As you look back at the 2016 regular season for the Dolphins, how would you look how the regular season went?
Well, definitely different looking team, Mike. Just personnel wise, a lot of freshmen in the lineup. Of course, you start all the way in the back between the goalposts with Nicole Mignon. Just about getting every single start this season. She's been tremendous. She hasn't had to make a lot of saves, Mike, because her defensive line in front of her has just been tremendous. But then you look from the midfield on out, with the exception of Jen Cosenza, who happens to be their leading scorer, the Dolphins really are dominated by first and second year players. Christina Rodriguez, Krista Anson, who we mentioned, Stephanie LaPointe is going to be an all-star consideration in the midfield. Players like Rebecca Deloya, Elizabeth Aparicio, they've all played extremely well, and they've all played a lot of minutes in their freshman year. And, Mike, it's kind of scary to think that these players are still 2 or 3 years removed from their finest soccer, from their finest career soccer, you would think. So a tremendous amount of upside for this CSI team, and a much different look personnel-wise. But you know what, Mike? Same kind of results. They played well, extraordinary in conference, played really well out of conference, held their own with teams like Kane, who they fell to, Stockton University, who they managed a 0-0 draw. Those are all growing pains for the Dolphins, or games that were supposed to be growing pains for the Dolphins, and they held their own. They should feel pretty confident going into this tournament, Mike. Even though they're the number 2 seed, they held their own all year long. They played well against each conference opponent. They dominated the game against Brooklyn. They just lost it late on a free kick on a set piece from right in front of goal. So, this is a team that has the potential to make a mistake, Mike, and give up a game like they did against Brooklyn during the regular season, but they also should feel really confident with the way they've played all season, and they should feel confident against this Lehman team who they defeated in the regular season.
And Dave, this is a CSI Dolphin team that's only allowed 11 goals to their opponents the entire year, and you look at that back line and you look at Catherine Mulligan and Adriana Perello. Both of those players have really had fantastic years for the Dolphins. And then you've been also getting strong play from the freshmen plays out on the wings, and the Dolphins have to feel very good about the way they played defensively so far this year.
Absolutely, no question, Mike. And considering the fact that they have, a 5'0" goalkeeper in Nicole Mignon, Mike, I think the statistic for the Dolphins this season is that Nicole Mignon has started and has completed 14 games. She has a record of 8-4-2 on the season, so 14 decisions. She's only had to make 29 saves this entire season. So you think about the amount of minutes 14 games is. You could do the math in your head. Obviously, it's over 1,000 minutes in goal. Only 29 saves, and you do the math, that's just over 2 saves per game. So it's not like she's not active. I mean, she's intercepting balls. She's getting in the way of crosses. She's punching corner kicks out of her goal mouth. So it's not to say that she hasn't been doing much, but her defense in front of her has been just absolutely tremendous. And in my opinion, if the Dolphins are going to win a championship, Mike, in the next 3 or 4 days, they're going to have to do it playing that same way, eliminating opponents' chances, keeping them to only 1 or 2 quality chances per game, and then offensively sneaking in a goal or 2 and getting out of here with 1-0 and 2-0 victories.
And Dave, you look at the CSI Dolphin team, and they've been so successful defensively, as we mentioned, allowing just 11 goals, but they've struggled to score goals a little bit as of late. If you take out that York College game that they dominated on Randall's Island by a final score of 9-0, and you look at their previous 4 contests, they've just scored 3 goals in those 4 games, and that's going to be such a key for the game tonight, and that's for the Dolphins to get on the board early.
Yeah, and that's where you'd like to see a player like Krista Anson, who has kind of tapered off since her hot start, Mike, to the season, to start to get hot again. And I think that's where this long layoff for the Dolphins really helps, because you have a lot of players. The Dolphins have been relatively injury-free all season, but they have a tremendous amount of players who are nursing these nagging injuries. Adriana Perello, Lauren Smith, Christina Rodriguez, Jen Cosenza, Shenda Carragazza. They've all been on the trainer's table at some point getting stretched. And, you know, those type of injuries, Mike, what they do need as a cure is just some simple rest. And the Dolphins have been idle now for 10 days. This is their first game in 11 days. So they've had that rest. Hopefully they're fully functional. And players that have kind of cooled down can now have fresher legs and get heated up again. The first 10 or 15 minutes are going to be very telling to see if there's been a little bit of rust with that long layoff, or if the Dolphins are fresh and are coming out here shot out of a cannon and flying. So I think the first few minutes are going to be very important.
And, you know, the Dolphins are going to look for Jennifer Cosenza to come up big in this game today here. Jennifer led the team in goals with 12 goals. And, you know, the Dolphins, again, looking for that offense. And, you know, in that earlier game against Lehman, as you mentioned earlier, 1 goal in the first half, 1 goal in the second half. And, you know, the Dolphins are certainly hoping to improve on their offensive productivity in this game here tonight.
Yeah, listen, Mike, we've said so much about the freshmen of this CSI Dolphins team and how much they mean to the Dolphins. But when you get to this stage, the playoffs, this is their first time that they've been here. So you have to rely on your upperclassmen to really get you through these type of events. And Jen Cosenza, she's really the only senior who's going to see extensive time, coming down the field in spurts. Shenda Carragazza is the other senior on the team. Mike, we're not sure if she's going to be in the starting lineup or not. But really, you depend on your seniors for leadership and for expertise when it comes to these type of games. So I think that's where Jen's focus is going to be. She doesn't have to come in here and score 2 or 3 goals, but she's got to make sure the team is poised, that they're calm, they're collected, that they're not getting down on themselves if they make a mistake, and she's going to have to be there to pick them up if they should fall. And she's going to have to be the leader on the scoreboard as well. Jen Cosenza led the way for the Dolphins. In fact, she's double the amount of goals that anybody else in the team has scored. 12 goals this season on 49 shots, so her percentage is right there. And Dolphins are hoping for big things from Jen.
And Dave, while we have a couple of minutes, let's turn our attention to Lehman College. Lehman coming in with an overall record of 8-7-1, 4-2 in the conference, and they lost to the 2 teams you would expect. That would be the College of Staten Island and Brooklyn College. But they only lost the Brooklyn game by a final score of 1-0. They played very well in that game, and they're a very competitive team and a very deep team. And, you know, Dave, any team that's got a player like Chelsea Harris on it is always dangerous, especially as long as the game is tied.
Yeah, definitely, Mike. You know, what Chelsea Harris brings to the table is that explosive, offense that she can give you. And, Mike, she could take a ball on the defensive side of the field and bring it up to the offensive side of the field and score a goal all in the space of about 5 or 10 seconds. She's good with the ball on her feet. She's good making quick decisions. And then when you add in the type of player that Daisy Gomez has been this year, with 9 goals in her own right, and the playmaking ability of Gredia Sanchez Espajal, with 9 assists leading Lehman. This is a formidable team that can pop in a goal very quickly. We saw them come back and tie the game against CSI in last year's championship game, sending it to overtime and really controlling play in large chunks. So this Lehman College team is legit. They know how to play. They know how to play well. They've been down this road before. But, Mike, the one hump that they have not been able to get past is CSI in the playoffs. This is the 3rd straight year that they're matching up. CSI defeated Lehman 5-0 in the 2014 semifinals, and in last year's championship game, 2-1 winner CSI was in overtime, of course, on that thrilling goal by Samantha Wizakowski in the final.
And for the College of Staten Island, they're going to look to defeat Lehman College here for the 2nd time here in this 2016 season, as we're now about 3 minutes and 40 seconds away from the start of the introductions. While we step aside, take a break for a couple of minutes. You've been listening to pregame coverage of Women's Championship Soccer right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The number one goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-one physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
We're back as we get closer to the start of this afternoon's semifinal championship game between the College of Staten Island and Lehman College. Both teams looking for the right to face Brooklyn College this Saturday afternoon right here at the Brooklyn College Soccer Complex. The Dolphins looking, Dave, to make it a rematch of the 2015 championship.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. CSI is looking to get back into championship form. Can you reset the camera so it faces in the middle? Okay, yeah. Looking to get back to the championship, Mike. They were without one since 2011. And, the Dolphins were able to come through last year on this field, and they did it against this team. And they beat Lehman in the 2014 semifinals as well, beating them 5-0 on this field as well. So there is history between these two teams, Mike. The Dolphins have actually won all but one game against Lehman in program history between the two sides. Lehman's, of course, regular season win over CSI was CSI's worst loss ever in the CUNY, 5-1 on that Lehman field. That's always tough to play on. But Dolphins looking for a repeat performance. Lehman to avenge a regular season loss and a championship loss at the hands of CSI last year. And it should be a lot of fun, Mike.
Yeah, and Dave, of course, so much pressure in these one-and-done games because a single mistake, especially early in the game, could be such a pivoting factor in these games that, it's going to be interesting to see how the freshmen of the Dolphins react to that here this afternoon.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm going to be looking at a lot too, Mike, is basically how these first-year CSI players kind of adapt to the speed here in the postseason. And, the wonderful thing about these playoff championships, Mike, is that everybody starts out 0-0. Lehman could care less what their regular season record was. They could care less what their overall record is. You win two games in a span of 4 days, you're going to the national championship tournament. So who cares what you've done in the regular season? And, you know, that's the difficulty if you're a team like Brooklyn, if you're a team like Staten Island. What you've done really in the regular season matters very little, and no one really cares too much once you get here. And Lehman knows that. That's why they're here. And they have, Mike, every right to walk here with a little bit of a swagger, a little bit of a hey, you have to beat us kind of an attitude. And for Staten Island, Mike, with a lot of freshmen in the starting lineup, they have a lot to prove here on this field. No matter the fact that they're 6 games over 500, that they won a bunch of games during the regular season, and that they beat Lehman as well. So they have a lot to prove on this field as well. That's why it should be a great 90 minutes.
And, you know, it should be interesting, Dave. Freshman in goal for the Dolphins and Nicole Mignon, senior in goal for Lehman College, Linda Resto, and it will be interesting to see if experience in goal plays a factor in the game here this afternoon.
Yeah, and speaking of Linda Resto, you know, Mike, people will look at Lehman stats and they'll say, well, she has a 1.63 goals against average, so she gives up almost 2 goals a game. Yeah, but she's also made twice as many saves as Nicole Mignon this season, and has almost the same exact save percentage. So, you know, when you think about it, Nicole Mignon and Linda Resto have almost identical stats, Mike, when it comes to, you know, how many saves they've made in relation to how many shots they've faced. So that's going to be very telling. And the fact, let's not forget, Mike, that Nicole Mignon has only played 1 game on this field, and she was victimized very late in that game against Brooklyn College that cost the Dolphins the regular season championship. Now, it wasn't her fault, Mike. That was a goal that obviously that's going to get through a lot of goalkeepers. But at the same time, she's going to be thinking about that too, and that first save for her tonight is going to be huge as well.
Yeah, and you know, as both teams are getting introduced out onto the field, let's give you the starting lineups here for this afternoon game. First, for Lehman College in goal, it will be Linda Resto. The remainder of the starting lineup for the Lightning here this afternoon. It'll be number 2, Grenada Sanchez Espinal. Number 3, Chelsea Harris, the leading scorer for the Lightning. Number 4, Pamela Sanchez Espinal. Number 10, Lillian Barreto, a junior player, a 3-year starter for the Lightning. A player always that is dangerous for Lehman College. Number 11, Daisy Gomez. We talked about Daisy earlier, the second leading goal scorer for the Lightning. Number 14, Susanna Tario. Number 17, Daisy Navarez, another senior player for the Lightning. Number 19, Vivina Casco. Number 22, Yasina Estrella. And number 23, Renee Taylor. For the College of Staten Island, it'll be Nicole Mignon in goal. The remainder of the starting lineup here this afternoon. It'll be number 1, Rebecca D'Aloia. Number 2, Lauren Smith. Number 4, Stephanie Lapointe. Number 7, Victoria Sanchez, who has worked her way into the starting lineup here tonight. Number 12, Christina Rodriguez. Number 13, Elizabeth Aparicio. Number 16, Catherine Mulligan. Number 17, Jennifer Cosenza. Number 18, Natalia Sandor. And number 28, Adriana Perello. So they have a big matchup coming up here, a big game for the Dolphins as they look to advance into the finals for the second consecutive year.
Yeah, Mike, it's exciting for all the players here. The coaches as well, Mike. The stage is set. Their parents are here. It's a nighttime game. It's a beautiful night. You know, it's one of those 6:30 games where, you know, families and friends and, you know, CSI men's soccer players are here to support. Lehman College contingent on the other side as well. It's going to be a fun night. 2 very even sides throughout the years, and, of course, last 2 years specifically. And it should be a great time, and it should be fun for us too, Mike.
Yeah, and you know, you look up and down this Lehman College lineup, and you know, you see a lot of experienced players back there, Dave, and you know, not nearly as loaded with freshmen as the College of Staten Island. And you know, these are players that defeated CSI in the game last year, took the Dolphins to overtime in the finals at the end of the final game of the season in the conference last year and played the Dolphins very well at home against CSI earlier this year. So they come into this game with a lot of confidence as well.
Yeah, without a doubt, Mike. And like we said, even though during the regular season the Dolphins kind of dominated the game statistically, Lehman knows that just doesn't matter. That game was played in Staten Island. It was played, I believe, on September 14th, which feels like, it was forever ago. I'm sure for these ladies it feels just as long. And, both teams have had a good little break now between games and leading up to this one. So they should both feel very good, very loose, very confident, very energized for a great 90 minutes. And, Mike, I think I said it during the pregame. I'll continue to say it as long as I have a chance. I think the first 10 or 15 minutes is just going to be absolutely huge for both of these teams. Can you imagine what a goal in the first 10 or 15 would mean to either side, Mike, in a game like this? It would just be absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, especially a goal early in the game, really gives teams an opportunity to clamp down defensively. And, we mentioned earlier the Dolphins doing very well defensively this year. And, where you look at the Dolphins and where you see the experience, Dave, a lot of it is in the back four for the Dolphins.
That's their bread and butter, Mike. Catherine Mulligan's only a sophomore, but she plays like a 50-year senior. She's so confident, so cool and collected back there. You got Adriana Perello, who's battled some injuries, obviously missed all of last year to injury. She's played tremendous. She's a third-year sophomore. You have Rebecca DeLoyer, who's just been tremendous, very underrated defender on that back line. Elizabeth Aparicio has been tremendous as well. I mean, these ladies play hard and they work hard. They play physical. They're not the biggest in stature, Mike, but they play bigger than who they are. And they've only allowed about 2 shots per game on Nicole Mignon. And if that doesn't say things about your defensive line, I don't know what does.
And the Dolphins with 7 freshman players in the starting lineup, as Lehman will go from left to right. The Dolphins will go from right to left as we're about ready to get underway here. Lights are on here at the Brooklyn College Soccer Complex. And, Dave, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but just unbelievably great weather for the beginning of November.
Oh, yeah, when you think about where we were, just a few days ago, Mike, with temperatures really dropping down here. Even Saturday when the boys played on this field, it was very, very cold, and they played a lot earlier than this one. But this is a gorgeous November afternoon. Temperatures are going to stay this way, hopefully, into our championship on Saturday. So looking at weather will not be the factor in these games.
So it's Lehman College coming out and getting off to a good start here in the early going as they play the ball down the far side of the field. So the Lightning got the opening touch, and they've begun to put a little bit of pressure on this Dolphin team. Ball's going to be played over to Barreto as she's going to look to play it into the center of the field as Lightning looking to break in, and Perello able to knock that ball over to the side as the Dolphins play the ball up the far sideline. But a good start to the game for the Lightning, Dave.
Yeah, remember we said the first few minutes were going to be very telling. The Dolphins have not played a game in 11 days, so this is their first time back on a pitch playing in live action. So we'll see if there's rust or we'll see if they're energized.
As the pass is going to come up the near side looking for Sanchez as that ball will roll out of bounds. So, once again, it'll be the Lightning to throw the ball in on the near sideline as Casco looks to get the ball in as she feeds the ball into Barreto. Her pass is going to be knocked away by Rodriguez as the Lightning look to play the ball up into the center of the field, but now it's going to be knocked away by Perello as the Dolphins look to attack offensively as Cosenza plays the ball forward, but it's going to be knocked away as LaPointe steps forward in midfield here for the Dolphins. Dolphins looking to break in now as the ball is going to be played up high in the air as Resco brings it down in front of a charging Rodriguez. So the Dolphins get the ball into the box for the first time.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Mike. And, keeping Lehman honest, getting the ball deep into their zone. Easy play by Resto to get that kind of jump ball in the box for her, but nice job by the Dolphins, and here they have a break.
As Rodriguez plays the ball ahead to Smith, she steps in, has a wide open net, and drills the ball home, and the College of Staten Island jumps out to a quick 1-0 lead just 2 minutes into the start of the game this afternoon as Lauren Smith took the ball in, got past the one defender, and put it in the wide open net, and the Dolphins took advantage of a big mistake to grab that 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and I think the player who gets the pass on that is Christina Rodriguez. That'll be assist number 13 on the season for her. Cosenza was able to shed her defender and pop that one in. A nice developing goal, Mike, and it all started off of a turnover. Great play by Rodriguez to get the feeder into Cosenza, and she hammered it home 2 minutes in.
No, I believe it was.
It was Lauren Smith. I'm sorry.
It was Lauren Smith, Dave, and the Dolphins take a 1-0 lead, and that's just what you're looking for, Dave, if you're a CSI Dolphin fan.
Yeah, absolutely. We said that the start was going to be huge, and Lauren Smith gets it.
And Lauren's going to pick up her 4th goal of the year as the Dolphins look to attack now. And you know that one of the strategies of the Lightning was to come out here this afternoon and, keep the Dolphins off the scoreboard as long as possible and try to grab that 1-0 lead. So we'll see if this changes the way they play now, Dave. Still, of course, just into the start of the game here this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to have to, Mike. I mean, Lehman's got, all day and then some to try and get this game back even. But, of course, it's going to change their mentality throughout the rest here because, you know what, there's
correction on the Dolphins goal scored by number 17.
It was Jennifer Cosenza, Mike, who ended up scoring the goal.
Second minute of play.
So Cosenza, the Dolphins' leading scorer, Dave, is going to pick up her 13th goal of the year. And, she really made a great play on the ball, Dave, as Resto came out but could not corral the ball. And she had the wide-open net. She made no mistake with it at all. And what a great start for the Dolphins here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's huge. It's I can't remember if they've had a game this season, Mike, where they've scored this early, especially against an opponent the caliber of a Lehman College, obviously. And it took them into the 26th minute, I think, to score against them during the regular season, a goal by Krista Anson, who's not in the lineup at this point.
So the Dolphins leading here by a score 1-0 as the ball's going to go out of bounds down the far sideline as Perella will come over to throw the ball in. As the Dolphins throw the ball up on the far sideline as both teams are fighting for possession of the ball here. And the Dolphins look to play it forward. The Dolphins, if you joined us late, picked up a goal just 2 minutes into the game and are looking to put the pressure on once again as the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds by the Lightning defense, and the Dolphins will throw it in.
Yeah, another very quick developing play offensively. That time Lehman was able to kind of shed it out of the zone before damage. Otherwise, CSI could have had yet another breakdown there. Lehman's got to be very careful with those turnovers right at midfield.
So the Dolphins looking to play the ball forward, and Dave, that's been another strength of the Dolphins throughout the year. They've been much stronger in midfield and have really gotten a lot out of their freshman players in the midfield as well, especially Stephanie Lapointe and Brianna DiStefano.
Yeah, and if you ask head coach Giuseppe Panetti, he wants his team to attack for 90 minutes. He wants them to push play, but the Dolphins don't mind playing possum every once in a while, Mike, and allow their opponents to kind of dribble in and then convert defense to offense very quickly. Their speed is what helps them transition up the field.
And it's going to be a foul on the Dolphins as the Lightning will have an opportunity to take the free kick just inside the Dolphins' half of the field here as we played just over 5 minutes in the first half, and the Dolphins leading here by a score of 1-0. The free kick is going to be played high up in the box. A good opportunity here for the Lightning as the ball bounces twice before Mignon is able to come out and retrieve the ball, Dave, just ahead of the charging Lightning player.
Yeah. I think it was Susanna Tario who was giving chase and got to that ball almost at the same time that Mignon did. But a good job by Mignon not to, kind of shy away from contact there. Puts her body in the way, and she's still kind of rubbing that right, quad area, Mike. But she seems to be okay and is pacing around in her goal mouth.
So it's now Smith playing the ball for the Dolphins. Smith looking to feed the ball up ahead to Rodriguez, but it'll be too far ahead. And Resto will be there to make play on the ball.
Yeah, so once again, Lauren Smith in the midfield, gains the midfield stripe, and then tries to feed Rodriguez, who was streaking down. So once again, those Lehman defenders have to stay back and stay honest here as the Dolphins can use that counterattacking style to develop offense very quickly down the heart of the pitch.
Lapointe playing the ball forward. She was looking for Smith, but the pass a little bit too far ahead, and it will be played out towards midfield where it's going to be played back in by the Dolphins as we're going to have a whistle, and that'll be a foul on Smith, so it'll be a free kick now for the Lightning.
Yeah, nice job by the defender there, Gredia Sanchez Espejel. getting her header there, and Dolphins guilty of a foul.
So the free kick played by the Lightning as they play the ball up the field. They're looking to get the ball to Harris, and she's been a little quiet here in the early going. You know the Dolphins will keep an eye on her as now it's Barreto. Barreto looking to feed it into Harris, but Dolphins able to knock the ball away defensively as LaPointe looks to play the ball forward, and now it's going to be played on the near side to Sandor. Sandor playing the ball out to Rodriguez. Rodriguez looking to charge forward, but it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Espagel, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Dolphins deep inside Lightning territory.
Yeah, Sandor, another one of those players for the Dolphins who's developed nicely, really came on as an everyday starter towards midseason, and also makes plays there in the midfield. Was able to get CSI that throw-in, but Lehman has been able to get back here.
So it'll be a throw-in now for the Lightning as they throw it up the near sideline. They got it to Barreto, but she knocks it out of bounds, and the Dolphins throw it in quickly looking for Rodriguez, but the Lightning will play it over to the side once again. And this time Sandor will come over to throw it in for the Dolphins. 8 minutes into this first half, and the Dolphins leading 1-0 as Rodriguez heads the ball in the box. It bounces down. Cosenza's there to play it, but she's now going to volley the ball out to midfield, where it's going to be headed over now to DeLoya. DeLoya feeding the ball forward, looking for LaPointe, but it's going to be knocked away, and the Lightning are going to look to counterattack quickly as Harris tried to get ahead of the field. Mulligan comes over to knock the ball away, but not out. But Perello will be able to fan the ball out to the far side. So the Lightning looking to counterattack quickly and have possession once again as they play the ball in towards goal. A good hard shot on the net, but Mignon is there to make the save.
Yeah, perfect position. Mignon did not really have to move to make the save, but still a nice job by Lehman again to develop their offense quickly. It all started with Chelsea Harris bearing down on Catherine Mulligan. Great matchup that we'll see all through the evening, and probably see a lot more of that matchup.
So Daisy Gomez gets a good shot on goal, but now it's going to be the Dolphins looking to come back down the near sideline as the ball's going to be played not out, as the Dolphins able to throw the ball across, but it's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it will be a free kick for the Lightning. So a good idea is it looked like Sandor was streaking down toward the near post, might have had a little bit of room, but the pass too far ahead, so it'll be a free kick here for the Lightning.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Rodriguez's intention was simply to cross that or if she was looking far post. I thought that was more of a crossing attempt in the direction of Sandor, but just a little bit too high and too hard. Went out past the touchline for a goal kick.
The ball's going to be played forward in midfield. Harris is there to fan it out over toward the far sideline, but Sanchez is going to knock the ball away. But once again, the Lightning able to come away with possession as Sandor goes for the 50-50 ball, plays it now to LaPointe. LaPointe breaking the ball ahead as the Dolphins charging in once again, but Resto able to come out this time and make the play on the ball. So another good attacking move by the Dolphins. Good play by Resto to come off the line.
Yeah, and again, if you're Lehman's defenders, you got to be really careful, because if Resto doesn't come up and meet that ball at the top of the goal box, Cosenza's going to have another opportunity at goal, pretty much one-on-one. So if you're a Lehman College defender, you got to get back.
Barreto getting the ball in a lot of space for the Lightning on the near sideline. A nice job by the Dolphins to come back and knock the ball away defensively, Dave. Barreto was really wide open on the near sideline, but the Lightning took a little bit too long to develop.
Yeah, and what a nice, confident job, too, by DeLoya to catch up to Barreto. Once again, that's another freshman for the Dolphins defender. You could see the size that she gives up, Mike, as she matches up against Chelsea Harris, but not afraid to get in there, not afraid to mix it up, not afraid to play the ball on the ground, and not afraid to attack for possession.
Yeah, and, you know, DeLoya has had a couple of occasions where she's gone on 30-yard runs with the ball and has been very effective. So Dolphins very happy with their freshman back, as the Dolphins playing the ball forward, looking to get the ball to Cosenza. It's knocked away. Rodriguez comes over, but a nice defensive play that time by Espinal to knock the ball away. But now Rodriguez, who gets pushed from behind, will have the ball knocked out of bounds. And that time the Lightning will give away, or actually I believe it will be a free kick called for the Lightning.
Yeah, it's interesting. I thought it was Casco who shoved it out of bounds, I guess maybe off of the toe of Christina Rodriguez, but that looked like it was going to heading towards a corner kick. Instead, it's a goal kick for Lehman College.
So the Lightning will play the ball forward as they look to attack up the far sideline, and the ball is going to be played now by Navarez. Navarez gets the ball back off the deflection as she looks to play the ball forward, and the Lightning now looking to attack. And, you know, Dave, the Dolphins have done a pretty good job so far keeping the Lightning quiet, but you can see some spacing for the Lightning and some attacking opportunities.
Yeah, and you get the sense that Lehman is also looking for that counter-attacking style rush up the field. They're allowing CSI to control play at midfield, and as soon as CSI makes that turnover, gives the ball away, Lehman's going upfield in numbers.
Smith rolling the ball out to the far sideline as Perello able to step past the Lightning defender and feed the ball forward. She's looking for Cosenza. She'll be knocked off the ball, and the Lightning now will play the ball up into the center of the field, but there to play the ball for the Dolphins is Smith. Smith rolling the ball out onto the far sidelines. Pass is going to be knocked away, but Smith is there to retrieve for the Dolphins. Pressured by Navarez, and now the Dolphins will play the ball up high toward the far side of the penalty area. And, you know, that was not a good defensive play by the Lightning that time, Dave, as Lightning give away the corner a little bit easily on that possession.
Yeah, I think that was Espahel, who was kind of in, you know, no man's land there, kind of back towards goal, and just had to kind of shove it out of bounds, had nowhere else to play it. And Dolphins will get an opportunity here. It'll be Adriana Perello to take the corner. She's got a big leg. She can get it far post. See how many white shirts get in the box here for the Dolphins.
So it'll be Perello here taking the corner as she skies the ball right into the center of the penalty area and wide open, and there to drill the ball home is going to be Christina Rodriguez, and the College of Staten Island takes a 2-0 goal on one of the most beautiful goals of the 2016 season for the Dolphins.
We said it, Mike. Perello has the ability to put it dead red and put it back post. She got it right to the heart, and what about Christina Rodriguez? Perfect positioning. She got the inside of her right foot on it, blasts it home past Resto, and the Dolphins are in complete control early. 14 minutes in, they're up 2-0.
Yeah, and that was really a big goal here for the Dolphins, as Christina Rodriguez is going to pick up her 7th goal of the year. Adriana Perello will pick up the assist for the College of Staten Island. And, you know, Perello, who has been such a stout defensive player for the Dolphins, also has now picked up, Dave, her 3rd assist of the year.
Yeah, and I bet a couple of them have come by way of the corner kick, Mike, because she has that big leg and is a big free kick taker for the Dolphins. And, you know, we said the Dolphins were going to get some white jerseys in the box. They were all over the goal mouth, and what a job by Rodriguez, who skates past the defender here.
So Rodriguez now putting the ball in towards goal, and Resto comes out to make a play on the ball. And, you know, Dave, we mentioned that the Dolphins had just scored 3 goals in their last 4 games when you take apart the York goal, the York game from that total. But the Dolphins with 2 goals here in the first 13 minutes of this afternoon and really take a 2-0 lead. And now we've really put the pressure on the Lightning, Dave. And with a 2-0 lead, you know, this is the goal the coaches worry about the most.
Absolutely.
Who gets the 3rd goal?
Exactly, because this is a moment in the game now where if Lehman starts to put their head down, Dolphins can really open this thing up.
As the Dolphins put the ball across the crease, but no one there to go out of bounds, and it'll be a free kick now for the Lightning.
And then again, if Lehman is, you know, if they stay poised, if they stay on the attack, and if they're able to pop in a goal, all of a sudden they have momentum down by 1. So the next 10, 15 minutes, very crucial here to see exactly how Lehman plays, having surrendered the 2nd goal. Took the Dolphins 85 minutes to do it during the regular season. Here we're in the first 15. Having yet to be played, Dolphins with a commanding 2-0 lead.
So Jennifer Cosenza, the leading goal scorer for the Dolphins, the senior, picks up the first goal of the game, her 13th of the season, just 2 minutes into the game. And then Christina Rodriguez picks up her 7th. So a senior and a freshman, Dave, give the Dolphins a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, again, you know, bookending. They've been up front all year long. You know, Jennifer Cosenza, the calm, cool senior who has to lead the group, you know, teach them how it is to play at this stage. And then, of course, you have Christina Rodriguez, who it's kind of scary to think that she's a freshman and still has her best college playing days, you know, ahead of her. She's just been a tremendous talent all year long. I think she's the favorite for Rookie of the Year this year in the conference. And 13 assists, that's a playmaker.
Yeah, you know, it certainly is, Dave. And you look at how well Rodriguez has played as a nice defensive play to knock away the ball for the Dolphins. She led the league in shots, and not by a little, by 36 shots coming into the semifinals here. today.
Yeah, and that just proves that she's not gun shy either, Mike. She's not afraid to mix it up, and if she has an open window, she will fire. She trusts herself. She's very calm and cool and poised, and you know, the way she plays the ball on her feet as well. Here she is in the corner going one-on-one against the defender and earns CSI another corner kick. So another well-played ball that time by Rodriguez gives the Dolphins another opportunity.
Dave, the Lightning came out strong and really controlled the play for the first minute or so, but you know, since then the Dolphins have done a really nice job. They've steadied down and picked up a couple of early goals. They lead by a score of 2-0, and now looking for an opportunity off the corner kick.
It's going to be Sanchez taking it, Mike.
So the freshman taking the corner kick. She puts it right into the center of the goal. The ball bounces around a little bit. Smith goes for it, but it'll be knocked out of bounds once again. So this time it'll be a throw-in for the Dolphins. So Victoria Sanchez, who's come into the game and started here this afternoon taking the corner kick, was a pretty good one, Dave, as she got the ball in the box. And now it's going to be Rodriguez with the ball. Rodriguez trying to put the ball in towards the center. A couple plays go up, and now Smith is going to chip the ball high towards goal, but Resto gets a hand on it, loses possession, and now an opportunity for the Dolphins as Rodriguez is knocked down, and the shot and the goal. Dolphins coming out on fire here this afternoon, putting the pressure on once again. Resto made a mistake. Dolphins took advantage of it, and they now lead by a score of 3-0.
You know what, Mike? Lauren Smith skied it up in the air. Linda Resto, all she has to do is make a fair catch. She muffs it. It scoops out in front. It goes off a couple of Dolphins, and Christina Rodriguez, always in the right place at the right time, cleans up the mess in front that Resto started, and the Dolphins have a commanding 3-0 lead, Mike, and are running away with this one here in the first 18 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and, you know, that was the mistake that the Lightning really could not afford, as, you know, the Dolphins were putting pressure on and playing very well, but, you know, that was really a pretty routine play that ended up being a goal for the Dolphins. And when you get into those championship games, those are tough to bounce back from, as we're going to have a whistle and a Lightning player is going to be down on the field as you hear the announcement of Rodriguez picking up her second goal of the year, and that's her 8th goal of the year. And, you know, Dave, she roared out of the box, started out really strong for the Dolphins, scoring goals, kind of turned into a playmaker a little bit toward the middle and the end of the season, but gets into the semifinal championship game and has really been an offensive force for the Dolphins, picking up 2 goals here as Dolphins really explode early and lead by a score of 3-0.
Yeah, Mike, and the bottom line is that 2 out of the 3 goals are just a direct results of Lehman errors. I mean, the first goal was on a turnover at midfield at the Dolphins. You know, it was Cosenza who shed a Lehman defender who had slipped and fell on the play, left Resto one-on-one with Cosenza and couldn't make the play. The second goal was just a beauty, and then the third goal is just a flub by Resto in net, an easy catch that she has to make on a ball that's skied straight up, and instead it's fumbled around. The Dolphins are able to get to it. So, you know, really, the Dolphins have played well here in these first 18 minutes, but it's been 2 really inexcusable errors for Lehman as they're huddled here at midfield trying to figure things out. They're down now 3-0, and Mike, with the way the Dolphins play defense and with the amount of shots that they yield per game, you know, it's almost curtains here with 77 minutes left in this game. You hate to say it, but the Dolphins are just not the kind of team that's going to give up 3 and 4 goals a game. It's just not how they're wired. It's going to take a huge effort by the Lightning to get themselves back in this game.
Yeah, and, you know, Dave, while we have a minute, as we have a little bit of a break in the action, we should mention that the championships games will take place this Saturday afternoon. We know that Brooklyn College will be in on the women's side. The Dolphins have gotten off to a good start here in the second game. On the men's side, it's going to be a Hunter College team that defeated Baruch against the Lehman College team that defeated the College of Staten Island. So it should be a pretty good men's final here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, we all know that with the championship comes an entry into the national championship tournament where the CUNY is looking to make a mark without a doubt. The Lehman College men undefeated during the regular season. That's hard to do in a conference where everybody's kind of beating up on everybody, Mike, and there's a lot of one-goal games. But Lehman College men clinching their way into the championship, and they'll face a tough Hunter side, which always plays well defensively, and that should be a really good game. That game's already been set 4:30 on Saturday. And then, of course, we have the women's final preceding that at 2 o'clock. Brooklyn's punched their ticket in already thanks to a 3-0 win. And now the Dolphins up 3-0 here on Lehman, still early in the first half.
As the Lightning will look to play their ball forward. And, Dave, if you're the Lightning at this point, you really got to just try to slow things down a little bit and just try to get the first goal and get back into the game. But, you got to be careful not try to score 3 goals at once.
Yeah, but you know what? If I'm Lehman College, Mike, I have to do everything that I can to just go on the offensive. At this point, whether you surrender 3, 4, 5, 6, or 8, you got to turn this into a game that's being played in the other direction. Right now, Lehman hasn't had really any extended possession in the Dolphin zone, and here the Dolphins now with a big free kick from about 25, 30 yards out.
Yeah, as Christina Rodriguez was knocked down from behind, and that will earn the Dolphins a free kick, and Lauren Smith, the only player over the ball, so she'll take the free kick opportunity, certainly in a position where she could put the ball on goal. Smith turns and puts it towards goal and puts it over the crossbar. So good opportunity that time for Smith. She put the ball toward the net, Dave, but just got it over the crossbar.
Yeah, and another good opportunity. She had a good try at it. Put it a little bit over the crossbar, but again, if this score was 0-0, Giuseppe Panetti would be beside himself. He'd want a shot that tests the goalie at the very least. There, Smith can afford to be a little bit more crafty and try to place it in a tough spot.
So the Lightning now looking to attack as it's going to be Mulligan stepping forward, and we're going to have a whistle and a handball called against Catherine. So it's going to be a free kick opportunity here for the Lightning as we've paid 19 minutes, 30 seconds here in the first half, and the College of Staten Island leading this one by a score of 3-0.
Yeah, great start for the Dolphins, Mike, as we are 20 minutes in, and now Lehman with their third free kick in Dolphins territory. And that one skips in on Mignon again, who had really nice position, but that ball allowed to bounce in the box.
Yeah, and that's been the second time this afternoon, Dave, where the Dolphins have allowed a free kick to bounce in the box, but both times Mignon there to make the play as Rodriguez going for possession with Espinel, but the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Lightning, but first we're going to have a substitution. So we will not have a substitution as the Dolphins look at the sub, and, of course, Dave, they won't be able to do that on the Lightning throw-in.
Right.
Aparicio playing the ball forward, looking for Rodriguez. Espinel there to knock the ball away. And, you look at this Lightning defense in the back, Dave, a little small, and Rodriguez has been able to take advantage of her size advantage here this afternoon.
Yeah, we've seen it a few times. Both of these teams tend to play a more physical type of style, and that's what soccer is all about. And we have our first substitution officially coming in. It'll be Brianna Di Stefano.
Brianna Di Stefano, she replaces number 18.
And it will be for Sandor, Mike.
So Sandor played well for the Dolphins as Di Stefano checks in. And, Di Stefano started playing, Dave, a few games into the 2016 season for the Dolphins, and she's really played very well.
Yeah, and the thing with Brianna, she's more of a defensive midfielder, whereas Sandor is more of an attacking midfielder, even though Brianna can lend herself to the attack as well. So this is more, I think, of a defensive substitution for the Dolphins here, as Lehman with yet another free kick here deep in CSI territory.
And this is a huge free kick day for the Lightning, down 3-0, as it'll be Grenada Sanchez Espinel to take it. She gets it up over to the far post. The ball bouncing around, the Lightning trying to volley it forward as Lauren Smith is there to play the ball away, but she can't get the ball out. And now the Dolphins will be able to play the ball up the far sideline. So Lightning with a big opportunity there, Dave. They put the ball out over to the far post, but really didn't end up getting a shot on goal.
Yeah, the Lightning have had a couple of balls skip around in the CSI goal box here these first 20 minutes or so of the game. So, that time Gredia puts one into the box. Lehman's unable to get to it, but again, those kind of opportunities are where maybe CSI can be had a little bit, Mike, because, obviously set pieces are a chance for the opponents to put something on goal, as the Dolphins, I think, will bring in Anson at this point, Mike, a familiar face on the attack, and indeed she will replace Cosenza here 22 and a half minutes in.
So Anson will check in for the Dolphins, as it'll be a free kick now for the Lightning. So Cosenza will check out of the game. Jennifer with that first goal just 2 minutes into the game. And, you know, Dave, that was exactly the start the Dolphins were looking for.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you want out of your senior. She'll remember that moment for a long time.
Here's Barreto as she looks to get the ball past Viola, but she can't do it. And the Lightning now throw the ball in from the near sideline. Casco playing the ball out in front nicely, but a good defensive play once again by the Dolphins to knock the ball away, but they can't get it out as Harris creating all kinds of havoc for the Lightning deep inside Dolphin territory, but she can't keep the ball in play, and it'll be a free kick now for the Dolphins.
Yeah, so, you know, if you're a CSI defender, that's the one thing you want to see, though, is Harris with the ball on her feet going away from goal and dribbling the ball, you know, away. So the Dolphins will move her to the sides and into the corners if she so chooses to go there. That's the only space they'll allow her. They won't allow her to go right through the heart of the pitch.
Barreto trying to get the ball into the center of the field, but it's going to be Sanchez to play the ball away, looking for Rodriguez. But now Barreto playing the ball away in midfield, and a nice move to open up a little bit of space. She looked to feed the ball forward. She was looking for Harris, but once again, Mulligan there to knock the ball away as the Dolphins come out now and look to counterattack quickly.
3-on-3, now 4-on-4 developing.
Smith getting the ball forward as the Dolphins now playing the ball out along the far sideline. So Dolphins now getting the ball in towards the center, but a nice play to cut the ball out by the Lightning defense and play the ball up the field. So Dolphins had a good fast break attack going. Nice defensive play that time by the Lightning.
Yeah, that time Stephanie, the point, was able to get past the defender. She got herself into the corner, just didn't have enough leg to kind of get it all the way through and cross it deep into Lehman's zone. But Lehman doing a nice job to catch up to it and send it out. But it's the Dolphins once again pressuring down the far sideline, and Krista Hansen will have herself a throw.
As the ball will be thrown in now. Anson gives the Dolphins that ability for the long throw in, and there you see it as they get the ball into the center of the field. They were looking for Rodriguez, but this time it'll be Rodriguez who gets called for the foul.
Yeah, that time both Rodriguez and the defender were jockeying for position. Rodriguez too much body that time, and with just under 20 minutes to go in the first half, the Dolphins pick up the foul, and Lehman will get a chance to kick it out of their own goal box.
So the Lightning will look to play the ball forward, trailing by a score of 3-0, as the Dolphins have come out with a goal by Jennifer Cosenza and 2 by Christina Rodriguez, and really have controlled this one throughout, taking advantage of that early goal by Cosenza and going out to a 3-0 lead. But here comes the Lightning once again as Harris drawing a double team. Is that time the 2 freshmen, Deloya and Aparicio, able to knock the ball away and feed the ball out to Sanchez.
Yeah, Harris has got to be so frustrated playing against the Dolphins. You know, during the regular season, that freshman tandem, with Catherine Mulligan, the sophomore, was able to really shut her down. They didn't even really allow her to touch the ball very often, and just she has not been able to turn it up through the heart of the field. We've seen the Dolphins kind of be okay with her attacking the corners and get the ball to the sidelines, but they will just not allow her to turn towards goal and face Nicole Mignon, in the middle of the field.
So the Dolphins get the throw-in on the far side, but now will commit the violation, and it will be the Lightning getting to throw the ball in instead, as we have a substitution for the Dolphins once again.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure who went in that time, Mike.
So I'm sorry, Dave, as the Lightning will get to throw the ball in with 18 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the first half. Dolphins leading by a score of 3-0, and the Lightning have had a couple of opportunities towards goal and a good shot on net by Gomez, but other than that, it's really been all Dolphins here this afternoon.
Yeah, and again, it's very deceiving. Lehman's been able to play the ball in the CSI box, but I believe Mignon only has that one, save, and she didn't really have to move much to make it. So on the stat sheet anyway, it'll look like Mignon really hasn't done much, but she's been interrupting crosses and playing balls deep. She made contact a few times, and here we'll have another set piece free kick for Lehman in CSI's end. And again, we'll see if they can generate a shot out of this or some prolonged offense in CSI zone.
Yeah, and that time DiStefano got called for the foul, and that was really, looked like a 50-50 ball.
Yeah.
But DiStefano, the one called for the foul, is the Lightning able to play it right up the center of the field, but it's going to be knocked away by the Dolphin defense. And now it's going to be Rodriguez playing the ball forward. They look to get the ball to Anson. She's streaking up the center of the field, but Resto, once again, shanks the ball badly and is very fortunate to be able to get on top of the ball. It's, Anson kind of lost sight of that one a little bit, Dave, but she had a golden opportunity as Resto just kind of shanked that one away.
Yeah, Resto also plays forward for this Lehman team. She's played a majority of goal this season, but maybe it's the stage, Mike. Maybe it's the nerves, but that's another routine play that the goalkeeper has to make. And if Krista Anson was breaking left instead of right, she might have had a play at that ball that was shanked by Resto.
Yeah, and that's going to be a handball on Pamela Sanchez Espinal. So it's going to be a free kick here for the Dolphins as Lauren Smith will take the free kick here for the Dolphins.
She gets a little talking to before she'll do that, Mike, from the head official, as we're just over 16 minutes to go in the first half.
So Smith steps up and plays the ball in towards the center of the penalty area. Dolphins able to play it momentarily, but the Lightning will play it out onto the far side of the field where Perello will pick the ball up for the Dolphins, and the Dolphins will look to attack from the far side. Good defensive play by the Lightning as they're able to play the ball up but not out. As the Dolphins able to play the ball in once again. This time they're looking for Anson. The ball's going to be knocked out over the far sideline, and that's going to be a corner kick opportunity for the Dolphins.
Yeah, look who's going over to that far corner, Mike. It's Adriana Perello again, as Sanchez will be subbed out here for the Dolphins. And it will be Caitlin Russo to come in. Captain wearing the captain's armband. The junior, Caitlin Russo.
Yeah, and Russo's really had a great 2016 season for the Dolphins, Dave, as the ball's played right into the center of the box. It's knocked away momentarily, but now the Dolphins will have the ball knocked out of bounds, but once again, off the Lightning. And once again, Dave, a corner kick opportunity for the Dolphins.
And that ball, once again, right in front of Resto in goal.
A ball played over right in toward the near post. It's knocked away but not out as the ball bouncing around, played out, and the shot's going to be put towards goal, cut out by the Lightning defense as the Dolphins put pressure on off the corner kick. Can't get the ball on goal, and now the ball's going to be played out toward midfield where DiStefano will come back and play the ball over to Mulligan. Now Perello over to DiStefano, but the ball's going to be knocked away as Perello looks to step up once again for the Dolphins. And, Dave, of course, one of the big advantages now for the Dolphins with this big 3-goal lead is it gives them the opportunity to play with confidence, knowing a single mistake couldn't make the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. They won't take too many chances. And, again, on that corner kick, that was a nice job by the Lightning defense, actually, to stay poised and calm and cool there. And get that ball out of danger and turning it into offense once again. But if you're the Dolphins, you want to again make sure that you're not committing too many bodies to the attack. Now with a 3-goal lead, you always want to make sure your back line is secure.
So Anson looks to play the ball forward, but we're going to have a whistle and I guess it's just going to go out of bounds. So it'll be a throw in here for the Dolphins. 13 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in the first half as the Dolphins look to break through once again. But the Lightning able to knock it away, but they play the ball dangerously up the center of the field. But a nice job by the Lightning defense to knock that one away. A couple of mistakes by the Lightning here this afternoon, Dave, have helped the Dolphins take this 3-0 lead as Russo playing the ball forward. The lawyer playing it forward as that's going to be
it was
Tuntas with the ball that checked into the game earlier, Dave, as the ball's going to be knocked away as it's Barreto now. Barreto losing it to DeLoya. Now Rodriguez feeding the ball forward up over to DeLoya. And, Dave, we mentioned Rebecca's name a couple of times as the Dolphins' DiStefano tries to play the ball forward. But not only is she a stout defender, but she's definitely shown an ability to come up from the back and cause a lot of problems on the attack.
Yeah, in my opinion, Mike, Rebecca DeLoya, far and away the most underrated Dolphin on this team. I mean, you know, when you play in the back line defensively, as Tuntas went down hard, got a little bit of a shoulder from number 19 for Lehman, Verdiana Casco. And she went down hard. Not much to Tuntas, Mike. She's about 4'11".
Yes.
But she went down hard, and now the Dolphins will get themselves a free kick out of this, about 35 yards from goal.
Yeah, that time Tuntas went up for the ball, and you could see she was a little bit off balance, Dave, as she got hit by Casco. But a big opportunity here for Rodriguez to play this ball in. And Lightning have been having a lot of problems inside the penalty area here this afternoon as Dolphins try to sky the ball up towards goal, but instead it will go out of bounds, and it'll be a free kick opportunity here for the Lightning with 11 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the game.
Yeah, that time Christina Rodriguez put one over the attacking line. We know what you meant, Mike. First half. Still early.
Dolphins trying to play the ball forward as it's going to be knocked away by Rodriguez, but it's going to roll back on the foot of Russo, who feeds the ball out over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez trying to create a little bit of space. The ball's knocked away. Russo going for the ball for the Dolphins, but the Lightning able to retrieve it and keep the ball in bounds. But no, the flag goes up. So it will be a throw-in opportunity deep inside Lightning territory for the Dolphins, as Russo was going to throw it in, but now Anson will come over to throw it in for the Dolphins.
Yeah, it's an important 10 minutes and change for the Dolphins, Mike. They've at this point put 5 or 6 reserves into the game, and there's a chance with them with fresh legs to kind of finish this half strong as Karagazla turns towards goal and puts one wide. But yeah, you know, this Dolphins team now, not only are they the fresher team on the pitch, but also a lot of these reserve players a chance to really finish out this half strong and get CSI into intermission, either still up by 3 or possibly a 4th.
Yeah, and Karagazla, just one of 2 seniors on the CSI Dolphin team. The other one, of course, leading goal scorer Jennifer Cosenza. So a lot of future for a lot of these Dolphins.
Oh, without a doubt. And the way Giuseppe Panetti has been recruiting, I wouldn't be surprised if he has another 12, 13 new faces to come aboard next year as well. Just got to find enough jerseys to outfit him, Mike, at this point.
Di Stefano feeds it over to Russo. Russo playing the ball into the center. A nice move by Anson as she tries to kind of backheel the ball over towards herself, but instead the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Anson, so it'll be a free kick opportunity for the Lightning. We're inside of 10 minutes, 9 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, and Krista Anson reminds me a lot of Chelsea Harris, actually, for Lehman. She's a player who likes to attack the goal head-on. She's bigger in stature. She's stronger. She likes to out-muscle her opponents. And, you know, she's a real special player to watch, too, Mike. She started the season as hot as a pistol, has cooled off a little bit, but she's really a dynamic player. And when you talk about the future of CSI, you know, Dolphins and their ability to score goals, I think Krista Anson's going to be one of those players who's, by the time her career is over, is going to be damaging the record books here at CSI. He's a very, very gifted player.
So we're going to have a substitution here for the Dolphins as Anna Karen Angulo is going to check in, and she'll replace the 2 goal-scoring Christina Rodriguez for the Dolphins as Anna Karen Angulo, Dave, a very good quality substitution for the Dolphins. And, of course, she was a tremendous high school soccer player as well.
Yeah, definitely. You know, again, she got to play a lot last year as a freshman. This year, a little bit more of a reserve role for her. But, again, when you can insert a quality defensive player with 8 minutes to go in the first half, that's a luxury that few teams, you know, have here at this level.
So the Lightning are going to try to play the ball forward here, looking to get on the board here in the final 8 minutes and 20 seconds. And, you know, Dave, a big minutes and 8:20 here for the Dolphins is, you know, if they could clamp down defensively here and, you know, really play the way they've played all season long, they would really go into halftime in a commanding position.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, you're talking about a Dolphins team that, you know, I only remember the one game, Mike, against Montclair State that they gave up more than 3 goals. This is just not a team that – this is a team that plays defense first, and they pride themselves on not allowing teams a lot of shots, let alone a lot of goals. So being up by 3-0 at halftime will certainly serve them well. And if you're Lehman and head coach Casey Malilly, you're looking for anything positive to go into intermission with, anything you can kind of hang your hat on. And, if they could squeeze in a goal here in the final 8 minutes, that will send them into halftime feeling a lot better about themselves and maybe making this a much more interesting final 45 minutes as CSI player being attended to on the far sideline.
Yeah, so we have 8 minutes and 17 seconds remaining here in the first half. The Dolphins lead this one by a score of 3-0. 3-0 the score that Brooklyn College advanced into the finals by defeating CCNY here earlier this afternoon, as Brooklyn College once again makes another visit to the finals. And this Brooklyn College women's soccer program, Dave, has really gotten stronger and stronger. And we were here a couple of weeks ago to watch the Dolphins play Brooklyn College, and Brooklyn really played very well in that game. They were very solid defensively, very organized in that game. Gave the Dolphins all that they wanted, and when they had a free kick opportunity late in the game, they were able to take advantage of it and win by a score of 1-0. And should the Dolphins advance, they're going to be facing a very confident Brooklyn College team right here on their home field.
Well, you know what, Mike? One of the things I hear over and over in soccer on a professional level is that, the best teams, the most talented teams, aren't always the teams that win. I think that's Angulo, Mike, who's getting up slowly. Yeah, it is Angulo, who just checked in, is coming out. And the Dolphins will get a substitution in. But you hear so many professional coaches always say, Mike, that when you get to the big games, it's not the teams with the most talent that wins. It's the smartest teams that win. It's the teams that are able to put it all together. And Brooklyn, for everything that they are, the number one thing that they are is a very smart team. They always play the game very smart. They put their players in positions to be successful. And that's why they've had a lot of success. Over the years, and why they were the champions a couple of years ago, actually back-to-back champions a couple of years ago. They lost in the semifinals to the Dolphins, only 1-0 last year in a game that the Dolphins were certainly favored in. And, they're going to be a tough out in the championship as well, no matter who advances here in this semifinal. So, Brooklyn, they deserve the number one seed. They deserve the regular season championship, and they get to sit back and watch these two teams, and they know that they're going to give them all they can handle.
Yeah, and of course Jasmine Furman, one of the top players, Dave, if not the top player in the conference, is certainly a force to be reckoned with for Brooklyn College, and certainly looking forward to Saturday afternoon. That's going to be the first game of the championship Saturday afternoon. Of course, the men's game will be Hunter College facing a Lehman College team that defeated the College of Staten Island by a score of 1-0. So a good final Saturday getting ready to take place in the CUNYAC Conference.
Yeah, absolutely. And the weather should be good again. Another strong day. There should be a lot of fans here. Of course, it'll be noisy, and we'll have all the pomp and circumstance that goes with it. The trophies, the medals, and all that, the smiles and the tears at the end of it all. But the Dolphins are hoping to be one of those four teams that will be playing on that Saturday. Of course, the CSI men's team, the disappointing loss that they suffered last week, they're hoping for an ECAC berth, a week from, roughly a week from now, and we'll see if that happens for them. But, with the women, it's a chance to kind of avenge that men's loss to Lehman and punch a ticket to the championship.
Espinel trying to play the ball forward, but instead Perello is going to be there to knock the ball away. Once again, it skips past the Lehman defender, and now it's Tuntas with the ball for the Dolphins. Tuntas turns and plays the ball towards goal. Resto gets a hand on it, and once again, the Dolphins might have had a little bit of an opportunity there, as Linda has really struggled in goal tonight for Lehman.
Yeah, and again, you don't know if it's nerves, you don't know if it's sheer skill. Resto has a lot more skill than that, and that time again, Krista Anson kind of gave up on that play, knowing that Resto was going to make an easy save, and she fumbled it, and Lehman got away with one there.
So now the Lightning looking to come out once again as Espadiel playing the ball. Marked closely there by DiStefano, but she's able to play the ball out over to the far side of the field. But once again, the Lightning not able to play the ball forward as the Dolphins able to come away and roll the ball down the far sideline. It'll roll out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in here for the Lightning. Clock continuing to run here in the first half as we're under 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. It's been all CSI as they lead by a score of 3-0. 50-50 ball. Barreto not able to play it, and once again, it's going to be the Dolphins coming forward as it's Aparicio. Aparicio playing the ball forward to Anson. Anson now on the near side of the field. Anson cuts into the box. Anson with a little bit of space rolls it towards goal. But Resto there to make the play for the Lightning.
Yeah, that time Resto had good positioning. Dimitra Tuntas was in the neighborhood. Not sure if Anson was thinking about maybe passing it off to her. It is counted as a shot for Anson, but she did a nice job of shedding that defender.
Lightning playing it forward. A little bit of a cross-up offensively that time for the Lightning as Russo comes forward to play the ball down the near sideline looking for Anson. Anson looking to work her way inside. Instead, the Lightning able to knock the ball away, but they'll knock the ball out of bounds up over the near sideline, and it'll be a throw-in here for the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's just another good play by Anson, Mike. That's a ball on the sideline that Russo sends her that should go out of bounds. Anson catches up to it, forces the defender to have to make a play, and it's out of bounds, and it all results in that last scoring chance. So, you know, the dominoes fall the Dolphins' way, and it all starts with Anson's great play.
Yeah, so that this time Resto able to make the play as Tuntas was bearing down on her, and the Lightning come away with the ball as they look to build up their attack offensively now inside of 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. And, you know, Dave, you mentioned earlier that Montclair State game that the Dolphins lost by a final score of 7-1, and you take away that game for the Dolphins, and they've played 15 games and allowed 4 goals.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's just it's almost numbing to think about because it's not like the Dolphins loaded their schedule with cupcakes. I mean, they played some tough teams. Kane, Stockton, St. Joe's, Long Island, FDU was on the schedule. So, you know, the Dolphins didn't shy away from playing anyone this season, and really defensively they've been up to every challenge this season. And, you know, Mike, even when you look at some of the games that they dropped, the game against Brooklyn, the game against FDU Florham, you know, those are games that statistically the Dolphins rather dominated, and even with possession, the Dolphins dominated. So again, they've let games, you know, slip. They've lost games that they probably should have won. But at the same time, for such a young team, they've really, really played well this season.
Yeah, so the Lightning now with an opportunity to take a free kick with 2:45 remaining in the game. And this is a crucial moment in the game, Dave, for the Lightning.
No question.
So let's see how they do as they chip the ball into the center of the box. Once again, the Dolphins allow the ball to bounce. But once again, Aparicio able to step forward and knock the ball away. Tuntas tries to play the ball forward, but it's going to be Harris there to knock the ball away as the Lightning able to keep possession of the ball here momentarily as now Mulligan will roll the ball up towards midfield. So a big opportunity that time for the Lightning, but not able to get the ball on goal as the Lightning now will get called for the foul with 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining, and that was a big opportunity, Dave, for Lehman.
Yeah, and that's where Lehman's had their best opportunities of the game, Mike, has been on those free kicks from, you know, 25, 30 yards away. They haven't been able to generate a true scoring chance out of them, but they've been awful close.
Tuntas tried to turn off the long pass. The Lightning able to knock the ball away but not play it out as it's going to come down to Russo on the near side of the field over to DeLoya. DeLoya has the ball taken away, and now it's going to be Barreto to play the ball up forward to Harris. Harris in the midfield, drawing a lot of attention by the Dolphins as once again it's Aparicio coming and knocking the ball away. She tried to get it to Tuntas, but a nice defensive play by the Lightning to play the ball forward. Harris looking to work against Russo, steps inside Russo, now gets past Aparicio, and now is able to play the ball forward. Nice play by Harris as the Lightning look to attack as it's going to be Navarez, as we're going to have a whistle, a big collision, and the Dolphins will get called for the foul with 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining, and I believe a Lightning player might have gotten shaken up on the play as with the official blows the whistle, and I believe that's going to be
Dolphins yellow will be given on the play.
So a yellow card will be issued to the Dolphins.
It'll be a number 20, Diana Estrada.
So Estrada checked into the game, and she'll pick up a yellow card. We have a minute and 11 seconds left in the game, and, you know, a lot of contact on the play, and that time Estrada ends up with the yellow, Dave.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, obviously, Lehman player down on the play being attended to as we have another stoppage of play. But, you know, again, it just, you know, Diana Estrada is just another one of those freshman players, Mike, who, you know, even though she picks up the yellow card and it's a hard foul, you have to respect the fact that she's willing to get into the mix physically. You know, we've seen, you know, a lot of CSI teams in the past maybe take a half a step back in those type of situations. And, you know, for the Dolphins, you know, their physical play has really intensified over this season. And, again, this is not the byproduct you want to see. You don't want to see other players, you know, having a tough time getting up on the play, as I believe that was number 17, Daisy Narvaez, I think. And, yeah, it is Narvaez who gets up slowly. But with a minute and 11 seconds left, Lehman College, Mike, once again will have themselves a free kick. It's about, you know, between 35 and 40 yards out. And this is where Lehman really has had their only type of offensive success in these first 44 minutes, has been via these free kicks. They've gotten a lot of them. This has to be by now number 7 or 8, Mike, that they've had, and let's see if it develops into a scoring chance. Again, people are going to look at the box score tomorrow. They're going to see Nicole Mignon, I think, only has 1 official save in this half. You're going to think she hasn't been able to do much, but she's had to be on her toes here in the box.
Yeah, she has to. She's had to be. As ball has bounced around there a couple of times, and this time a long shot towards goal, and Mignon comes out and makes the play on the ball. A good short-handed play by Mignon with just a minute remaining in the game. So a big final 60 seconds here, Dave, for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and if you're the Dolphins right now, you want to make sure your back line is sound. You don't want to rush anybody up front that shouldn't be there, and close out this half up by a trio of goals and putting a huge onus on Lehman to have to work their way back in the second half.
As the Lightning look to play the ball in midfield, stepping forward is Russo to knock the ball away. Lightning trying to maintain possession, and they're able to do so as the Lightning look to press up a little bit here with 27 seconds remaining, and Barreto with the ball for the Lightning. Barreto looking to break down the near sideline, but once again a beautiful defensive play by DeLoya for the Dolphins.
And again, good job by the Dolphins of making sure the Lehman College attackers are attacking from the corners.
The Lightning able to come away with possession of the ball with 6 seconds remaining, but Tuntas will come away to knock the ball away, and that's going to do it, Dave. 45 minutes in the book. Jennifer Casenza scored 2 minutes into the game. Christina Rodriguez added 2 more. Dolphins have to feel good, Dave, going into halftime with a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, who'd have thought that we'd be showing this graphic at halftime? The Dolphins up by a 3 spot. We knew it was going to be close. We knew Lehman, you know, was going to come in, you know, with a little bit of a swagger. So with the Dolphins, and you know, to be up 3-0, and the way they scored, Mike, early in the game, going for the jugular, attacking Lehman mistakes, and probably best of all, really finishing the play and scoring the goal at the conclusion. That's really been a huge lift for the Dolphins, and it's one of the reasons why they're up by a strong 3-0 lead.
So, Dave, we're at halftime. The Dolphins lead by a score of 3-0. Let's step aside for a few minutes, and we'll be back and get you ready for the start of the second half as you're watching the 2016 CUNYAC Championship semifinal game between the College of Staten Island and Lehman College right here on your voice of CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The #1 goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-one physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
Practice makes perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably put the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Mom.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft. To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course.
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
We're leaving.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The number one goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-one physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
Won last year.
We're back, and we're at halftime where the College of Staten Island leads this one by a score of 3-0. Jennifer Cosenza scored 2 minutes into the game. Christina Rodriguez added 2 goals, and Dolphins lead this one in a commanding position by a score of 3-0. And we're very pleased to be joined by men's head soccer coach John Tardy. Coach Tardy, of course, coming off of that excruciating 1-0 loss against Brooklyn College. I should say against Lehman College here at the Brooklyn College Soccer Complex. Coach Tardy, welcome to CSI Sportsnet. Tough loss.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
So,
Mike, why are you so out of breath? What's going on?
So let's talk.
I'll take it. Hold on. Get your breath.
Thank you, Dave.
First of all, John, where have you been? We've been billing you as being the third voice on the broadcast all game long, and we see you out there moseying with the fans, with athletic director Charles Goins. No, but thank you for being a part of halftime, and we hope that you'll stick around for the second half as well. But yeah, it was a tough loss here on Saturday against Lehman, but it's got to feel good to see the women get off to such a great start these first 45.
No, definitely. The girls are playing extremely well, knocking the ball around, playing some good soccer, and they are doing exactly what we were unable to do, and that's put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that Mike and I touched on is it's one thing when the opponent's making mistakes. It's another thing to set up the play. It's another thing entirely to finish. And, this isn't a CSI Dolphins team that scores a ton of goals. I mean, they're not used to, playing these kind of open-style games. But Dolphins really did do a really good job of finishing in that first half, especially early in the game. Those first, 10, 15 minutes, the Dolphins took a 2-0 lead and really set the tone for the whole rest of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what you want to do in games like this. The few chances that you have, you put away, and you make the other team uncomfortable now the other team's going to have to attack, the other team's going to have to kind of play out of their comfort zone, and it's going to open up the game for the Dolphins women. So hopefully they continue to attack and the game opens up for them and they're able to put a couple more in the back of the net.
Yeah, Coach, the Dolphins have been struggling to score a little bit here late in the season, but getting that big goal just 2 minutes into the game in these one-and-done games, how big a goal is it to score that early in the contest?
No, it's huge. Right from the start, you're putting the team, on their heels, and again, like I said, they're going to have to play out of their comfort zone now. Lehman's going to have to attack. They're going to have to send numbers forward, and when you're playing a game like that, it leaves you vulnerable to the counterattack. So when the Dolphins win possession, hopefully they could find those empty spaces and really exploit the defense.
Coach, this is a CSI women's team that just allowed 11 goals all year long, and 7 of those goals were in one game against Montclair State. If your head coach Giuseppe Panetti now standing on the sidelines with a 3-0 lead, what are you looking to do here in the second half?
I mean, I think exactly what they've been all year, and you got to still make sure that defensively you are sound, you are secure, and you're taking care of your defensive responsibilities. If the game stays as is, they're going home and they're going to the final this Saturday. So they need to make sure they keep the ball at the back of the net. They need to make sure that they're defending, and when the attack does come, they make sure they take care of business.
And we'll take a look at the halftime stats, and they pretty much tell the story that we've been talking about. The Dolphins really dominating in all facets. We see the shots on goal 7-1, and corners obviously for just the one offsides. The fouls about even, but John, the other thing that Mike and I mentioned during the first half a lot was a freshman keeper, Nicole Mignon, only the one save officially on the register. People are going to pick up the box score tomorrow morning and say, she didn't really do much, not really a part of the action. Lehman only had one shot the first 45, but she had to be really active in the goal box, interrupting crosses, getting in the way of those free kicks, especially coming right down the heart of the pitch. So she actually had a really strong first half.
No, she's playing extremely well. For a girl of her size, she's extremely active in the box. She commands the box. She gets herself put into, some situations where maybe there's a couple bigger girls around her, but she gets up, she gets her hands on the ball, and it's great to have someone like that back there. On the boys' side, we finally have someone that could do the same. So it's great that two freshman goalkeepers within the Dolphins programs are playing extremely well.
Yeah,
so.
and that's the other part of this Dolphins team. Mike said it right at the opening, 7 freshmen in the starting lineup to start the game here for the CSI women. And, to turn the attention a little bit to the men, you guys were in a very similar boat all season, starting freshmen. And, had you not suffered a few injuries at the beginning, it might have been more, with some of the guys that got hurt early. But you had to be really impressed, even though the final result wasn't what you'd hope, and you'd certainly like to play at least another CUNY game here on Saturday. You got to be pretty impressed with the resiliency of your first-year players and even the newer faces that are playing their first year at CSI that might have played in other places.
Yeah, no, listen, we're extremely happy. I mean, obviously the game didn't go the way we planned, but I think just the style of play that, our boys are playing and the way they're playing and it's good soccer. It's very few times where you're able to walk away from the game and just go, well, guys, you really didn't do anything wrong but put the ball in the back of the net. There was really no fingers to point. They played great soccer, possessed the ball for, I'm going to say, majority of the game, and we just, we fell short. And sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way, and it's unfortunate, but that's why we played a game. And going back to the girls, Giuseppe's done a fantastic job of bringing in a great recruiting class. And, hats off to him because he continues to bring in classes like this. CUNY's going to have to watch out. So, I'm excited to see what this girls program is going to bring in the upcoming years.
Yeah, David Pizzuto along with Mike Babuski and John Tardy joining us here at halftime, and we hope you'll stick around for the second half with us, John. Mike, we're at halftime. First 45, very impressive by the Dolphins. 4 shots on goal. 3 of them end up in the back of the net. Both you guys, what do the Dolphins do to make sure they get out of here in these final 45, make sure they get out of here with a win and get ready for Brooklyn on Saturday?
I think right out of the gate, they cannot fall asleep. They need to make sure that from that opening whistle, they're here, they're playing like they did in the first half. Continue to possess the ball when they have it, knock it around. There's a couple times where, the girls did a great job of just calming down the play instead of forcing it forward, switch the point of the attack. So I think as long as they're able to possess the ball, keep it in Lehman's half, they'll be fine.
Yeah, Dave, it's going to be really tough for the Lightning here to come back here in the second half against a Dolphin team that really just does not allow goals. We mentioned earlier that, you take out the Montclair State game, and this team has just allowed 4 goals in the rest of the year. So, it's really going to take a significant breakdown by the Dolphins here in the second half. But, of course, you look at this Lightning lineup, and, we mentioned it a couple of times, Dave, and, Chelsea Harris is such a quality player, and, she's got a couple of good players in the supporting cast as well. So, like Coach Tardy says, you want to come out strong here in the second half and, be ready to play a solid 45 minutes. But, to me, Dave, if the Dolphins come out and play the way they do in the first half, it's going to be very difficult for Lehman to get themselves back in the game.
Yeah, and they just haven't really let Chelsea Harris face goal and turn towards goal and attack from the middle of the field. They have really pushed her into the corners, and that is not where Chelsea likes to play. We're talking about the reigning CUNYAC Player of the Year and the leading goal scorer for Lehman with 12 goals. So we're almost set for the second half. Dolphins will go from left to right. John, one more question before we get our second half, and Mike takes over play-by-play. The temperature has been beautiful. The wind is not playing a factor. Better to be a little bit colder at this point of the season, or is this the ideal temperature to play soccer?
I mean, you can't ask for better weather. Someone's watching over CUNYAC right now because this is the exact type of weather you want to play in. Nice cool breeze here and there to cool you down a little bit, but it's beautiful soccer weather.
So this is the final semifinal game of this 2016 CUNYAC tournament. The men's side is decided as Hunter College will face Lehman this Saturday afternoon in the second game of a doubleheader. Brooklyn College will be in the finals, and the Dolphins are 45 minutes away from joining them as we get ready to start the second half. And you know, Dave, the Dolphins came out and played so well in the first half, and, you know, Cosenza really came up big, and it was one of the first of several defensive mistakes for Lehman, and that's really hurt them here tonight.
Yeah, and aside from a few of the late subs that the Dolphins put in, Brianna DiStefano, Dolphins are going back to their starting lineup here. So, again, we see Sandor back in the game. We see Sanchez back in the game. So the Dolphins, if they can get the kind of start that they had in the first half here in the second, looks like it's going to be a pretty good night here for the Dolphins. But 45 minutes separate them from a championship appearance. So here we go. The Dolphins will get first possession.
So it's Cosenza and Rodriguez standing over the ball as we wait for the official to blow the whistle. And we're underway here in the second half as Rodriguez is going to play the ball down the far side of the field, and Dolphins come out looking to attack, but the ball will roll out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Lightning to start the second half.
Yeah, remember, Mike, in that first half early, Lehman had a little bit of a flurry the first, minute or so of the game, and it wasn't until they made that mistake in the back that cost them that first goal where CSI seized. So Lehman did get off to a pretty decent start. Unfortunately, they just couldn't sustain it.
So it's going to be a free kick opportunity here for the Lightning to start the second half as they're going to look to play the ball up the far sideline. And, Coach, with 45 minutes remaining in the game, now heading towards 44 and trailing by 3 goals, if you're Lehman College, what are you looking to do here to come out in the second half?
I mean, Lehman's got to press. They got to push numbers forward. And, like I mentioned before, that's going to leave the Dolphins to, definitely have some options on the counterattack. So, the Dolphins need to limit their fouls to make sure that they're able to keep Lehman in their zone. The more fouls they give up, the more chances they're going to give Lehman to just knock the ball out the other way.
So Perello takes the free kick for the Dolphins, and the Dolphins now look to play the ball into the center of the penalty area as the Lightning are able to play the ball away. But, every second that you spend down on the Lightning side of the field is all the Dolphins are really looking for, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, any moment where the Lightning don't have the ball on their feet is a win for the Dolphins because Lehman is up against 12 players right now, the 11 on the pitch, and, of course, the clock as well.
As Perello, overlapping from a fullback position, feeds it in front to Rodriguez. Rodriguez tried to turn and put the ball towards goal, but it's going to be knocked away and played out over the near sideline. So first goal-scoring opportunity goes to the Dolphins.
Yeah, and, of course, right in the middle of it all was Rodriguez.
Rodriguez again takes that ball, volleys it towards goal. A nice defensive play to knock the ball away, and the Lightning now will try to play the ball out along the far sideline. Another defensive mistake by the Lightning give the Dolphins an opportunity, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. And I believe that'll be a corner kick for the Dolphins, and Dolphins had several corners in that first half.
Yeah, I believe this is number 5. They had 4 at halftime, and each one of them resulted in a scoring chance, Mike's.
So it's going to be the corner kick taken as Sanchez takes the corner kick for the Dolphins, and the Lightning able to play it away as Harris comes all the way back towards the 18 to knock the ball out of bounds. But once again, it'll be a throw-in here for the Dolphins. And, Coach, 3 minutes into the game, the Dolphins have really had the ball on the offensive side of the field the whole time.
That's exactly what they want to do. As long as they possess it on this side of the field, keep Lehman off the ball, Lehman's going to have a very hard time to come finding a way back into this game.
Dolphins are going to throw the ball in and look to play the ball forward. Instead, it'll be knocked out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in here for the Lightning. Just underway here in the second half, 3 minutes, 20 seconds in. Dolphins leading this game by a score of 3-0 as they came out fast and really have been able to take advantage of a few mistakes on the Lehman defensive side of the field to score 3 goals and take a 3-0 lead. The Lightning looking to play the ball forward. Said the Dolphins defense able to knock it away, but we're going to have a handball called on the Dolphins, and a big opportunity here for the Lightning.
This is exactly where they need to limit their mistakes. Again, free kicks within 30 yards. This is where opportunities are created. A lot of goals in college soccer are scored off set pieces. If Lehman's going to find their way back into the game, set piece is a good way to do it.
So the ball's going to be played away by the Dolphin defense and now skied up toward the penalty area. It bounces over the head of Perello, but she's able to come over and cut the ball out over toward the near sideline in a nice sliding play to keep the ball in bounds.
She started that play, too, in the middle of 2 attackers for Lehman, so real nice controlled play by Perello to see it through.
Lightning now looking to build up the attack a little bit as it looked like Harris might be ahead of the play. No flag up, but Mignon able to play the ball for the Dolphins anyway.
Yeah, and similar to what John was saying before, this whole series resulted in a free kick for Lehman. And if you're the Lightning, you have to have a little bit of more urgency as well. I mean, they're not going to get a great deal of chances. So each one of those free kicks, they have to treat like a golden opportunity to get themselves back in this game. And that last free kick, Mike, was very short, didn't even reach the goal box. So Lightning need to do a better job on those attempts at goal.
So the Lightning trying to play the ball up the far sideline as we're 5 minutes in. The ball goes out of bounds, and the Dolphins will have an opportunity to throw the ball in once again. And once again, the ball is going to be knocked out of bounds. So, a little bit of a slow start, not much tempo, Coach, here in the second half. And, really exactly what you want if you're the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Dolphins, though, they need to kind of pick up the tempo of their own. They don't want to get, complacent and just kind of lax. They want to make sure that they're still putting the pressure on Lehman, making sure that Lehman actually has to, do some work. The minute they step off the pedal is the minute you leave room for error and allow a team to get themselves back into the game.
So the Dolphins will get to throw the ball in once again along the far sideline as the ball's going to roll out of bounds. And it's going to be another corner kick opportunity here for the Dolphins. And, one of the things, Coach, as we watch the game here this afternoon, Lightning have given a couple of corner kicks away pretty easily.
The men's team did that too. But this is where they need to capitalize. Again, a ball in the box like that, what Rodriguez just played in is what they need. The keeper's been a little shaky off her line. We've been able to attack the ball, so we get the ball in the box like that and we have runners onto it, we might see 1 or 2 more goals in the back of the net.
So this ball's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be a free kick opportunity here for the Lightning as they try to battle their way back into this game, trailing by a score of 3-0 as Rodriguez looks to play the ball forward, but instead it's going to be Taylor to sky the ball away for the Lightning. LaPointe trying to play the ball forward. Instead, a nice play to get the ball out over to Harris as Harris feeds the ball up the near side, up over to Tario as Lightning look to string passes together. And, Dave, as you watch the game here this afternoon, you can really count on one hand, I think, the number of times that the Lightning have been able to string together more than 2 or 3 passes.
Yeah, you know what? And aside from, from Harris and Espahel in the back, both Espahels, not a lot of other Lehman players. I mean, we've seen Barreto handle a little bit, but they haven't had the ball on their feet all that much, and they haven't really shown that confidence to penetrate, keeping the ball on the ground. So you're right, they haven't been able to string together the passes, but they're also not trusting their instincts and attacking the defense either.
Rodriguez trying to play the ball forward as she gets the ball onto the foot of Cosenza, but Cosenza will lose possession once again as the Lightning looking to step forward. But, Coach, on that pass, you look at the Lightning playing the ball into the Dolphin offensive zone, 5 white shirts, 1 blue shirt.
Yeah, like I said, Lehman's going to have to get numbers forward if they want to be able to get themselves back in this game. Dolphins are doing a great job of staying compact in the back, and like you show right there, ball's played in. You got 3 girls standing there right there to pick up the ball and start the attack the other way.
So that ball's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in here for the Dolphins. Dolphins trying to make another return visit to the finals. And, Dave, we watched as the Dolphins struggled to break through and win the finals. They were finally able to do so last year, and looking forward to make a repeat visit here in 2016. Ball's going to be played forward, and the Dolphins coming in on a break as it looks like it's going to be Sandor with the ball, but instead the ball's going to be knocked away. But the Lightning playing the ball back as Sandor looks to put it towards goal once again, and the Lightning able to come away and clear it, and that nearly was goal number 4 there, Dave.
Yeah, you know what? Another mad scramble and another ball that, Resto doesn't attack and get to, allowing the CSI Dolphins to kind of, scamper around and get to that loose ball. That was almost goal number 4 for the Dolphins that time, and Lehman escapes unscathed.
Espinal putting the ball forward, and the Lightning looking dangerous, but a beautiful defensive play to knock that one away and play it out over the far sideline. So what looked to be a golden goal-scoring opportunity ends up with just the throw-in.
Well, again, that goes back to the defense that the Dolphins have been playing all year. They've only given up 4 goals besides that Montclair game, and it's due to plays like that from CC Mulligan.
And that time the ball is going to be played in. But once again, Dave Mignon, very decisive, coming off a line and making a play on the ball and not putting it back on the ground.
Yeah, she knew right away she was going to attack that one that was coming into the box. And just like John said, Mulligan with a fantastic play on the play before that to really break up the threat. That was a good developing offensive play by Lehman, and Mulligan really made it look easy by stopping it.
Espinal looking to play the ball forward as she looks to get the ball to Gomez, but Perello is back there defensively. Perello trying to straddle the ball against the goal line and loses possession now as Espinal plays the ball, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul on the play. But, Coach, in these situations, you love that the players are turning the ball toward the sideline and not into the center.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a great job of, possessing the ball, and like I said, that's exactly what needs to be done. But again, silly foul, giving a free kick in a good position. So, hopefully Dolphins are following their marks here and, make sure Lehman stays off the board.
So Sanchez Espinal will take the free kick as the Lightning have had several of these opportunities, and that's going to be a high ball in towards goal as Magnon gets a hand on it. It bounces off the crossbar, but the Lightning are there to put home the rebound, and the Lightning desperately needed that one as that one was put up high towards the post. Toward the crossbar. Mignon got a hand on it, but could not hold on. The ball bounced around, and just like that, Dave, it's in the back of the net, and it's a 3-1 game.
And full credit goes to Gredia Sanchez Espajel. She put the ball on goal, and a high one that Mignon, again, has great position. Except, she's only 5 foot, and she can only get so high. She's able to, kind of stab it right up into the crossbar, but there to clean up the mess was the Lehman attackers, and they finally are able to hit pay dirt off of a set piece, Mike. I believe that was their 8th of the game, and they did a nice job there as Narvaez was able to clean up the mess.
I think that goal might put some life back into the Dolphins, though. You see them come right back, and here they are with a shot on goal. I think that woke them up. I think that's maybe just what the Dolphins needed to get themselves refocused.
So Resto makes the save and holds on to the ball as the Lightning find themselves right back into the game. A big goal that time by the Lightning, who now trail by a score of 3-1, and certainly an opportunity for Lehman College to get their way back into the game now and try to keep their momentum going, and let's see if the Dolphins can bounce back.
Yeah, on the other side of that, Mike, the Dolphins can't get too excited. They got to continue to just play their game. They can't just go into kicking the ball. They got to make sure they maintain possession, keep it, and just play their style of soccer.
So Sandor loses it out of bounds. Now it's knocked out by LaPointe, so it'll be a throw-in here for the Lightning, who are able to take advantage of the rebound off the crossbar, score a goal, and now trail by a score of 3-1 as they look to attack offensively, and the ball's going to roll back to Taylor. Taylor's pass is going to be stolen and knocked away as now LaPointe is going to get whistled and a foul called on the Dolphins. Coach, I don't know about that one.
I wouldn't be calling a foul that way for sure.
Yeah, boy, that was a tough call on the Dolphins, and now another opportunity for Espagel to put the ball towards goal as it was a nice play by Gradita that got the Lightning started, and she's going to chip one right in towards the center of the penalty area. The Lightning able to come away with the ball, and the shot and the goal. And just like that, the Lightning get themselves right back into the game and trail by a score of 3-2. And, Dave, I don't know about that foul call to begin with, but the Lightning were able to take advantage of it and get themselves right back in the game and now trail by a score of 3-2.
Well, one of the things that we said, Mike, is that Lehman is not going to get a lot of opportunities, but when you give up free kicks, those are built-in opportunities right off the bat. They become instant scoring chances, and now on back-to-back free kick set-piece opportunities, Lehman develops them into goals. They start getting some shots on net. Again, Mignon is in a tough position on that play. She's got 3 blue shirts bearing down at her, and again, just a mess in front. Dolphins unable to clear. Lehman takes advantage with the fans on their attacking end. They have full momentum here. They're still, down by 1, but Lehman has really wrestled some control here and are really starting to develop their game.
So Navarez picks up her 3rd goal to make it a 3-1 game. Daisy Gomez picks up her 10th goal to make it a 3-2 game, and with 32 minutes left in the game here, Coach, it's anybody's game.
Again, I think now more than ever, the Dolphins need to make sure they stay calm, they do not get frazzled, they get back to playing their game.
I think what's helped Lehman too, Mike, is that all of a sudden Lehman has developed a lot of fans on that end of the field where they are attacking. It might be some members of the men's team as well that have come out here, and they're making a lot of noise. They're inspiring their side. So, like John says, CSI needs a big play here to kind of get themselves back and get these fans, situated back again.
As the Dolphins look to attack down the far sideline, as the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. But once again, last touch by the Lightning, and now a big opportunity and a big corner kick coming up for the Dolphins.
We need to make sure we get a good service in here, and we have numbers flying forward.
Yeah, 7th corner of the game here for the Dolphins.
So the corner kick coming up from the far side as the ball is played in towards goal. And, once again, not a good defensive play by the Lightning inside the box. And, once again, the Lightning kind of give away a corner kick there a little unnecessarily. But the Dolphins now with their 8th corner kick, Dave, need to take advantage of these opportunities.
Yeah, and that one didn't travel as far as they would have liked. They need to get this one a little bit deeper into the box.
Long corner kick. This one into the center of the penalty area. The ball bounces around and is knocked away by the Lightning. So that time the Dolphins able to serve the ball into the center but not get an opportunity towards goal. DiStefano skying the ball up high towards goal as ball's going to be knocked up in the air, not out. As the Dolphins look to head it down, it's going to roll out of bounds. And this time I believe it'll be a free kick for the Lightning.
Yeah, it looked like Lauren Smith might have gotten her head on it. Sanchez was in the area. Sandor was in the vicinity as well, and that was, hold your breath time for Lehman, but they're able to get out of it unscathed.
So the Dolphins, who were struggling to score goals coming into the game here this afternoon, score 3 in the first half, have given up 2 in the second half as Rodriguez puts that one towards goal, but it's knocked away before it's able to get towards goal. And now the Lightning look to come out once again. Mulligan playing the ball for the Dolphins. Now it's DiStefano. DiStefano chipping the ball into the center. It's Rodriguez playing the ball forward. She was looking for Cosenza, but it comes back down to Rodriguez. And now we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on the Lightning. And now it's going to be the Dolphins with the big free kick opportunity.
This is the deepest that they've been with a free kick so far tonight, Mike. About, 8 yards or so outside the goal box. So about 25-yarder here for Rodriguez.
They got to make sure they put this on goal, and again, they have numbers flying forward for a rebound.
So it's going to be Rodriguez, the only Dolphin really over the ball, so it looks like she'll take the free kick here for the Dolphins as the clock rolls down inside of 29 minutes remaining here in the second half. Rodriguez looks to blast the ball through the wall, and she just puts it over the crossbar. She had room there, but the ball went just high.
Yeah, she didn't miss by much that time, Mike, but she had the right idea. Resto hasn't been sure-handed, there between the pipes, and that one just missed.
As Sandor knocks the ball away for the Dolphins, she looks to put pressure on Taylor up the near sideline. The ball's going to be knocked out of bounds, but this time it will be a free kick here for the Lightning. So Christina Rodriguez with the opportunity off the free kick, but she puts the ball up over the crossbar. The Lightning escape and now have a free kick opportunity. They've scored 2 goals here in the second half to come back and make this a 3-2 game. Dave, this is only the second time all year long that the Dolphins have allowed 2 goals.
Yeah, it's, like the one good thing about going into halftime down 3-0 is that now in the second half you're kind of playing with house money. You can take risks, you can take chances, you can, get spilled, look for fouls, and, Lehman's playing it smart here, and probably the smartest of all, Mike, is that when they've been given chances, they've made the most of them.
Yeah, they've taken advantage of a couple of free kicks here in the second half as the Dolphins will throw the ball in as they look to defend a one-goal lead as the ball will be knocked out of bounds and another throw-in opportunity here for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think that was a foul on Tario that was called, so the Dolphins get a free kick out of this. Oh, maybe not. Oh, yeah, they will. I was right. There you go.
So the Dolphins will take the free kick as Mulligan comes over and plays the ball into the center where Harris is there to steal the ball away. But DiStefano was able to play the ball out into the center of the field as it looks like DeLoya coming up on the far side for the first time. And here come the Dolphins looking to attack.
What a play by DeLoya.
A nice play now to get the ball up over to Rodriguez, but a good defensive play by the Lightning to knock the ball away once again, but they can't clear it out. As that time Smith is going to knock the ball out of bounds, out over the near sideline. So that time Lauren just hit the ball a little bit too hard.
Yeah, that was a nice developing play. Dolphins going from left to right, all sprung by DeLoya, who left her back line to join the rush up the field and just about outran every defender.
It starts with her making a great tackle in the middle of the park. And, you know, if she could get up the line a little more, they're going to create a lot more chances.
Cosenza taking the ball past 4 Lightning players. She feeds it up over to LaPointe. LaPointe tries to serve it into the center. It's knocked away by the Lightning, but not out. A good feed that time is Smith able to play the ball for the Dolphins. She gets the ball out over as the Dolphins now look to set up offensively now and play it in the center once again for Rodriguez. She's knocked down. Nothing called on the play as the Lightning able to play the ball away, but once again, not out. Dolphins looking to play the ball back into the center. The shot towards goal is knocked away once again by the Lightning defense. So good job that time by the Lightning defense as Dolphins ping-ponged the ball around, but never could get the good goal-scoring opportunity. Both teams fighting for possession now as Smith comes away with the ball for the Dolphins. Smith feeding it up the near sideline looking for Sandor. Sandor turns and chips it towards Rodriguez. Her header the ball goes up over her head as we're going to have a whistle and a sliding tackle on the play as the Dolphin player goes down and the Lightning coming out with the ball. But first we're going to have a whistle and a stoppage in play as a couple of Dolphins hit the turf on the play and Dolphins shaken up, Dave, as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a good tackle, though, you know, in the box. It was just 2 players coming together. I think the ball was played first. I think that was a clean play. But unfortunately, CSI victimized, and the clock will stop with over 25 minutes, and everybody in the place can kind of breathe a collective sigh of relief as play has really opened up now, Mike. Both teams really flying down both sides of the pitch, and Dolphins getting the better of the play here in these last 2 or 3 minutes, but nothing to show for it yet. I don't think they've officially put a shot on net in this second half, but they've kind of wrestled momentum away a little bit.
Yeah, so we have 25 minutes, 8 seconds remaining here in the second game. In the second half, the Dolphins leading by a score of 3-2. And you know, Coach, for the CSI Dolphins, they led this one by a score of 3-0. We played 20 minutes here in the second half. What do you think the head coach is saying to the Dolphins over there on the sideline?
I think he's telling them that they just need to relax. They got to remember how they got here, what got them up 3-0, and they need to get back to playing that style in that way.
So we have a shaken up Dolphin being taken from the field. And, Dave, I didn't see who it was out there.
Sanchez.
So it's Victoria Sanchez, the freshman who got the start here for the Dolphins here this afternoon. And good news is she's up on her feet, and she seems to be walking pretty well.
Yeah, she missed a lot of time due to injury, did Victoria, and it was nice to get her back. And that's where, you know, we said that long layoff between Dolphins' final game, 10 days, is their first game in 11 days, actually. That helps players like Sanchez, but she'll come off, and undoubtedly the Dolphins will not play down a player here. So we'll have to see who they insert.
Coach, I'm sorry, Dave, while we have a little bit of a break in the action, the men's final game will be Hunter against Lehman. You've played both of those teams this year. What are you looking forward to on Saturday?
It's going to be a good match. I think, Lehman style play, they play a little more direct, and Hunter tries to possess the ball a little more. It's going to be definitely a good match. selfishly, I'd like to see the purple and gold take it because it gives us a shot at ECACs. But definitely think it's going to be, a good match.
As that ball is skied up high in the air, and the Lightning are able to come away with possession of the ball as they bring the ball across midfield and look to attack, as that's Tara with the ball. A feed into the center of the field is going to be knocked away by the Dolphin defense, but the Lightning there to retrieve before LaPointe is there to head the ball forward for the Dolphins.
Mike, I should mention that it was Krista Anson who's come in for the Dolphins in place of the injured Sanchez.
So Anson checks into the game here for the Dolphins, as the Dolphins lead here by a score of 3-2 as Smith steps forward, and as she got shaken up as she came down hard on the play, and she's hobbling a little bit for the Dolphins as she tries to get back into the play, as the Dolphins look to play the ball forward here, as both teams fighting for possession here in midfield, with the Dolphins trying to hold on to that 1-goal lead and 24 minutes remaining in the match.
Yeah, and Smith has totally walked it off now. Mike, she's still hobbling a little bit, but looks like she might have caught one of the Lehman's players' shin guards when she tried to get a shot off, as we have a whistle here. It's maybe an offside, yep.
So a rare offsides here this afternoon, Dave. I think that might be the first one all night.
Second one for the Dolphins officially. Lehman hasn't had any, so yeah, we haven't seen that whistle.
So the Lightning will have an opportunity here to take the free kick, as the game that had opened up a little bit has calmed down here in the last minute or so. So let's see the Lightning put the ball in play here as the ball is headed past the Dolphin defense, but Mulligan is there to play the ball back out over toward the far sideline. Lightning able to come away with the ball as it's going to roll on towards goal, as Mignon has to come out quickly and make a play on the ball. And, Coach, that looked like a pretty quiet play that all of a sudden turned into a scoring chance for the Lightning.
I just think it was a little miscommunication between the keeper and the center back and Cece. I think Cece thought Mignon was going to come out for it. Last second, Mignon realized Cece was asking her to come out. So they're able to handle it, though, and, they send it out down the other way for, a counterattack.
As Cosenza tries to play the ball out in the center of the field, but a nice play by the Lightning to come away with the ball, but the pass back to Taylor is going to roll up over towards the near sideline. It's going to roll out of bounds where Cosenza will throw it in for the Dolphins. She gets it to Sandor. Now back to Cosenza. She feeds it in front to Sandor. She has a little bit of space. The shot towards goal is going to be off the hands of Resto and into the net. A huge goal there by the College of Staten Island as they open up a 4-2 lead. Good play that time, Dave, and the Dolphins opened up the lead back to 2.
Now, was it Di Stefano? I'm not quite sure who got the last touch on it, Mike, but that all started with that beautiful give and go off the throw in from Cosenza to Sandor, back to Cosenza, back to Sandor, and that's how it all developed. And the Dolphins once again do a good job of finishing from in close.
I'm pretty sure the sub, Krista Anson, got the last touch on that, and I thought that was a clever move from Coach Giuseppe. Putting her in, a lot of speed, tons of athleticism. Lehman's got a couple big, strong, tough girls in the back, and it's a good matchup for her.
And it was indeed Anson from Sandor.
Time of the goal, the 68th minute of play.
And the Dolphins go back up by 2.
So Anson's going to pick up her 6th goal of the year, and that was just a beautiful play by Sandor. She had a couple of touches on that possession that led directly to the Dolphin goal. And, Natalia Sandor has really played so well for the Dolphins here this year.
Yeah, and she's really come on late, too, Mike. Had a quiet first 5 or 6 games, but really has lent herself more to the attack. You could see her getting more comfortable, getting more confident, being more poised with the ball on her feet, and being in the right place at the right time too. Good field presence for Sandor.
Yeah, Sandor picks up her 5th assist of the year, which ties her for 2nd on the team with Stephanie LaPointe. And just a huge goal for the Dolphins there, Coach, as they open up that 1-goal lead to 2.
Again, now this makes Lehman have to attack and have to bring numbers forward. So hopefully, we're able to limit our fouls here, and Dolphins can get some numbers forward. and, put another one or two in the back of the net and seal the game off.
The Lightning try to play the ball forward, but the Dolphins able to play the ball away momentarily, but not able to get the ball out as it's Navarez looking to come forward. She's got the first goal of the second half for the Lightning, and now it's going to be the Dolphins to knock the ball out of bounds, so it's going to be a corner kick here for the Lightning.
It's their first corner of the game, and at that time, Daisy Gomez doing a nice job to front up Di Stefano and earn the chance here, as Di Stefano had no choice but to spill it over the goal line.
So it's going to be a big corner kick opportunity here for the Lightning as they choose to play a short corner. They feed the ball back to Espinel, and, she had a good idea that time, Coach. Put the ball up high in the air and see what happens.
Yeah, any closer to the net, it's a problem for Nicole Mignon. So, good it went wide.
So it's going to be a free kick opportunity here coming up for the Dolphins as we're inside of 20 minutes remaining here in the second half. The Lightning doing a great job as Navarez and Gomez scored within the first 10 minutes or so of the second half. But a big goal here by Anson as she comes forward to take the ball away once again, has opened the lead back up to 2 for the Dolphins, and will force the Lightning to open up the attack once again as we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on Anson. So it'll be a free kick here for the Lightning.
Still a nice, quick developing play up the field. Once again, all started by Natalia Sandor, and that time a nice little chase there for Anson. Just had to commit the foul in order to prevent it from going out.
LaPointe playing the ball up the near side. A pass forward is knocked away. As we're going to have a whistle and a foul called, and it looks like we're going to have a yellow card issued on the play to Stephanie LaPointe. Boy, I don't know about that one, Coach.
Not a yellow, definitely a foul, though. She got a little better after the play. Again, Dolphins just need to settle down, limit stupid fouls. So
LaPointe picks up a yellow card. And it's going to be the Lightning now to take the free kick as the clock continues to roll as we head towards 19 minutes remaining here in the second half.
71st minute of play.
Lightning looking to play the ball forward as they look to get the ball inside the box as Harris looks to chip it forward. A nice play, but Rodriguez able to come back and knock the ball away as the ball is put up high over the crossbar, and it'll be a free kick now for the Dolphins.
And, Mike, it's not ironic that that whole scene develops off of the free kick once again. Both of Lehman's goals started that way, and there we have one this time on Lehman's side of the 50, and it all develops into a scoring chance. So the Dolphins have to be really conscious of that and, allow, Lehman to, to possess and not be as quick to foul and give them the chance to get upfield in numbers and attack via the free kick.
As now Perillo is going to play the ball up the far sideline as the Dolphins look to put the pressure on, and the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. And, once again, another throw-in here for the Dolphins. And, Coach, if you're CSI, there's no reason to hurry on any of these set pieces.
No, they just got to take their time. Again, even rushing the ball forward on every play might not be the solution. They might want to just try to possess, knock it around. Lehman's got all their numbers back right now, so to hold the ball, with our defenders and just knock off some time might be the way to go.
So the ball is going to be played up the sideline as the Dolphins work their way up the far sideline, and now we'll have a throw-in just outside the top of the box on the far side of the field as Anson throws the ball in a long way. The ball's going to come back to Anson. She's knocked down on the play, and the Lightning come away with possession. Dolphins looking to play the ball on the far side of the field once again as the ball's going to roll back. Perillo tries to knock the ball forward. Instead, it's going to be knocked away by the Lightning defense and now played into the center of the field. Di Stefano playing the ball forward to Smith. Smith looking to get it to Sander, but a nice play by Taylor to step forward and knock the ball away. But another nice play by Natalia to play the ball away for the Dolphins. Sander continues to play strong here in the closing stages of the second half.
And Sanchez has come back in for the Dolphins, Mike, after she was taken off due to injury, so she's checked back in. I'm not sure who she came in for, and if it was...
I think it was Cosenza, Dave.
Okay, thank you.
So it's going to be a free kick coming up here for the Lightning as they play it forward, and it goes under the foot of Sander, and the Lightning move it up to Harris in the center of the field. Harris, a nice feed into the center, up to Espinal. Espinal looking to play the ball forward. The Lightning looking to push up their first attack in a couple of minutes as the Lightning look to get the ball inside the penalty area. They're unable to do so as the Dolphins able to knock the ball away once again. Lightning looking to play the ball inside the box. A little bit of space there. Dolphins do a nice job to close it off quickly and play it out to Rodriguez inside the midfield circle. Rodriguez loses possession as now it's Tarrio. Tarrio feeding the ball across. The Dolphins knock the ball back towards their goal. Not usually a good idea, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it will be a corner kick now for the Lightning. And that time, Coach, the Dolphins playing the ball back the wrong way.
I think she just mishit it. I know she had the right idea. Happens sometimes. But, you know, now they got to make sure they have their marks. Again, another set piece, another chance for Lehman. They got to make sure they're following their marks and getting the ball out.
Yeah, the Lightning have been able to take advantage of set pieces here in the second half for their 2 goals. And now a nice corner right into the center of the penalty area, and the header goes just wide.
Yeah, that time Lehman did a nice job of getting to that corner and really getting it deep into the goal mouth. We saw when they had the corner kick on this near side, they decided to play it short. That time they decided to put it directly into the goal mouth. They got a good quality scoring chance out of it. And Dolphins will now try to kick it out of the zone.
Yeah, and that was a rare shot for Chelsea Harris here in the game this afternoon. And, you know, she had a little bit of space, but fortunately for the Dolphins, headed that one wide. As the Dolphins now look to play the ball up the far sideline, it'll be out of bounds, so it's going to be a throw-in here for the Lightning. And, you know, Coach, with just over 14 minutes remaining in the game and down by 2, when does a coach in that situation really feel compelled to just push forward and not worry about the consequences?
I think, you know, 10 minutes left, you know, again, an elimination game, 10 minutes left, you got to start making changes. You know, we might see Lehman maybe go with 3 in the back, throw 3 up top. You know, really focus on getting some numbers forward.
And here come the Lightning as they look to push the ball forward. But once again, the Dolphins do a nice job to just push the ball aside, knock it out of bounds, and force Lehman to regroup offensively. And, you know, Coach, I'm looking over here on the sideline, and I see 3 or 4 Lightning players standing back at the midfield line.
Yeah, you know, they got 4 back there right now. You know, if I'm the coach, I'm trying to get my outside backs at least forward to get some numbers, get some width. Again, a lot of their chances are coming from, you know, set pieces. So to get numbers forward with some space down on the flanks and whip some of those dangerous balls into the box, you know, it's something that the Lehman coach should be considering.
So Perello knocks the ball out of bounds. The Lightning get to throw the ball in, but the Dolphins keeping the ball on the Lightning side of the field as once again the ball goes over the head of the Lightning defense. And, you know, Dave, the Lehman has struggled a little bit defensively inside the box here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, they're starting with their keeper who, you know, Linda Resto, who hasn't been very sure-handed back there. And, you know, it makes your defenders not feel as safe taking risks either. So that leads to mistakes as well. When you know you have a solid, you know, goalkeeper behind you, you know, sometimes you just play better, you know, defensively as well.
DiStefano plays the ball forward to Smith, but a pass to Sandor is knocked away, and the Lightning play it back inside the Dolphins' defensive side of the field as Navarez looks to play the ball forward. She's able to step past
earned another set piece, Mike. Sorry about that.
Yes, that time it's going to be Sanchez who gets called for the foul, and another set piece right in the center of the field here for the Lightning, Coach, and the Dolphins have struggled with these in the second half.
Struggled with them, but I think she really sold that one to the referee. Nice piece of acting, in my opinion.
Yeah. And you know what? It's really what you have to do. I mean, you know that you've been successful. Anytime a CSI player is going to make contact, you should immediately be going down to the carpet.
Yeah, as once again a long, high kick in toward the box, and this time Mignon is there to make the play. So the Dolphins able to count on Nicole Mignon. She makes the play on the ball and holds on to it, Coach. And, you know, the Dolphins with a freshman goalkeeper, and she's been pretty sure-handed here the whole night.
She's a great keeper. She's actually worked out with the guys a couple times with our goalkeeper trainer, and our goalkeeper trainer has nothing but good things to say about her. So I think it's safe to say that the Dolphins have some sure hands for the next couple years.
Anson tried to break her way on goal. She's knocked down on the play, and Resto able to come off her line and make a play on the ball. And a lot of contact on that play, Dave. No foul called.
Yeah, a lot of shielding there, but that's just a simple foot race. It was good to see Resto actually attack the ball and not leave her defender on the hook there and intercept that right at the top of the goal box.
As that time Sandor tries to play it forward, and this time it's going to be the Lightning called for the foul and a free kick opportunity coming up here for the Dolphins.
And Mike, I know we don't worry about it, especially on nights like this, but I don't think Lehman's made a single substitution in this game, and the Dolphins have funneled players in and out. We see, I think, Jennifer Cosenza getting ready to come back in for the Dolphins, so they're the fresher team out there, and you wonder about fatigue here in the 80th minute for Lehman.
As Rodriguez puts a long ball out towards goal, and this time Resto able to come out and hold on to it for the Lightning. So Resto will punt the ball up high in towards midfield, where Rodriguez is there to head it down and feed it up over to Anson, but we're going to have a whistle, and I believe it'll be a handball called on the Dolphins.
And I think going back to what John was saying before, Mike, now as we approach 10 minutes left, it really doesn't matter whether you lose 4-2 or 14-2. It's high time to start getting 3 and 4 and 5 attackers up the field, earning fouls, getting scoring chances.
So Harris looks to feed the ball out for the Lightning as the ball is played up over on the far side, but the ball's going to roll on goal, and once again Mignon with sure hands makes the play on it for the Dolphins. We're inside of 10 minutes remaining in the game. The Dolphins lead by a score of 4-2. The winner will advance to Saturday afternoon's final against Brooklyn College at 2 o'clock start, and that will be followed by the men's final, Lehman against Hunter. Approximate start time is scheduled to be 4:30, probably be closer to 5:30 or so before that men's game actually gets underway.
And, John, if CSI is able to hold on here for these final 9.5, if you're Brooklyn College, obviously watching this game, what are some of the things you're picking up about the Dolphins, your next opponent?
I mean, for the Brooklyn College coach, he's had success against them in their first regular season game. So, I think he has a good idea. But for me, looking at the report, you gotta know that they have a lot of offensive weapons. They have some speed up top with Rodriguez and Krista. They have some speed out on the flanks. I try to spread the field out a little bit. We haven't seen much action down the flanks, but I think the Dolphins are vulnerable to the driven light ball in the box. So to get the ball wide and find crosses is something that if Brooklyn does, they may have some success.
Dolphins look to play the ball up the far sideline as they continue to wind down the clock here and, just try to keep the ball out of danger here for the final 8 minutes and 30 seconds as Rodriguez looks to break past a couple of Lightning players. She's unable to do so, but DiStefano is there to knock the ball away for the Dolphins.
Yeah, with Barreto bearing down on her. Nice job by DiStefano to get that ball back.
That time, Espinal failed to come to the ball, and a nice defensive play by Smith to knock it away as the Dolphins play the ball out into the center of the field where Rodriguez comes away with it once again and feeds the ball up over to Smith. Smith with some space down the near sideline. Smith putting the ball in front as that time the ball is deflected towards goal, and Resto able to come out and make the play on the ball for the Lightning.
I think Smith hit that a little early. I think she could have took a touch towards goal and made herself a little more dangerous.
The ball played out into the center of the pitch where Rodriguez is there to knock the ball away once again for the Dolphins to play the ball out over to Smith. Smith out over to Anson. She rolls the ball towards goal. The Dolphins looking to put a little bit of pressure on as Resto came out of her net, but she got back in as the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Dolphins, Dave, deep inside Lehman territory. Clock becoming a big issue now with 7:12 remaining.
Yeah, and if you're the Dolphins, you can rest comfortable here, and what you want to do is you want to get this ball deeper into Lehman's end and force them, even if they do make the defensive play, to have to come all the way out.
The Lightning looking to play the ball up the field, but once again the Dolphins there to knock the ball away as The Dolphins kept the ball on the Lehman side of the field for the last couple of minutes, but now the Lightning look to break out. Harris, Espinal feeding it forward, looking to work against DiStefano. DiStefano able to knock it away, and now it's going to be cleared once again by the Dolphins as we're going to have a whistle and a offsides, the third offsides of the night against the Dolphins.
Jen's got to do a better job of getting herself back onside. She kind of got caught watching there. So she need to make sure she's staying focused because if she gets herself on there, she's kind of in for the races.
Espinal will take the free kick once again for the Lightning as she feeds the ball right up the center of the pitch. But the ball's going to be played over to Rodriguez as Rodriguez plays the ball forward, and the Dolphins look to counterattack now. The pass up the center of the field, looking for Cassandra a little bit too far ahead, and Espinal comes away with the ball. Feed for Harris. Harris fighting with Mulligan in the center of the field.
That's a great defensive play that gets called for a foul.
Yeah,
there's no way that's a foul.
Yeah, there have been a couple of fouls here called in the second half, a couple of very close calls, including the second goal scored by the Lightning off a very tough foul against LaPointe, and now another free kick opportunity here for Espinal. As the clock continues to wind down, there'll be about 5:30 remaining when she strikes the ball. Long, high ball into the center of the penalty area. A couple of Lightning plays breaking in, but once again, Nicole Mignon very decisive and sure-handed.
Yeah, and that's another one of those plays, Mike, that you'll never see in a box score that Mignon makes. And, Gretia's got some leg when she gets into those free kicks. She's got some pace on it. She's definitely, able to get it through the defensive line, and that's just a nice play by Mignon to interrupt everything.
Sandor to throw the ball in for the Dolphins. She throws it looking for Casenza, but Taylor's going to come out and knock the ball into the center of the field, but it's Anson to knock the ball away. Anson, a nice give and go as Sandor tries to attack, but nice defensive play by the Lightning to knock the ball away, but not out as Smith retrieves for the Dolphins. She'll chip that one towards goal. It will go wide, so it'll be a free kick for the Lightning. Clock continuing to wind, though, 4:37 remaining in the game.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of tired legs right now. Lehman is not – I don't think they realize how much time's left in the game. Very slow, restarting their set pieces.
Yeah, and their body language just doesn't really, feed into some urgency. We don't hear a lot of them speaking and communicating with each other. And, at this point, they need to be a lot more urgent about getting the ball up the field.
The ball, a 50-50 ball in midfield as Rodriguez is going to get called for the actually it will be a foul called on the Lightning. Boy,
after further review.
that was a tough call on that play as the Lightning thought they were going to get the free kick. Instead, it's going to be the Dolphins.
Yeah, Christina will take her time here.
Dolphins look to move forward a little bit as Rodriguez skying that ball high up towards the far post as it bounces once again. It will roll out of bounds and will be a free kick now for the Lightning as they need to push up the field here quickly in the final 3:33 in the second half.
Yeah, but what a nice job, by the Dolphins after they gave up that second goal. I mean, Lehman really hasn't had a great opportunity since, and that's because the Dolphins really stayed poised, stayed calm, didn't overreact to it, and like John said, just kind of continued to play their game and were able to get that insurance goal, and now they seem like they're in prime position to close this one out.
And, Coach, you mentioned that Nicole Mignon is actually trained with the men on a couple of occasions. And, for a freshman player, after allowing a couple of goals, she really played very strong in the remainder of the second half and really never made a single mistake.
No, the best players forget about their mistakes. Especially as a goalkeeper, a lot of weights on your shoulders, a lot of mistakes, fingers are going to be pointed at you. So especially as a goalkeeper, minute a mistake happens, minute something's in the back of the net, you need to make sure that you forget him so you're able to stay focused, you're able to continue to do a good job, and she's done a great job doing that.
There's another free kick opportunity.
A very tough call as another foul called on the Dolphins. And, I thought on that play, Dave, that Rodriguez barely made contact with the Lightning player.
And this is where Gretia actually put one on goal last time that resulted in Lehman's first goal. Let's see what she does here.
Yeah, as the clock continuing to wind down here with 2:10 remaining as she's going to put one high towards goal, and that one will go wide as the ball is knocked out of bounds. And The Dolphins able to escape a free kick opportunity by the Lightning, and they will have a substitution as Stephanie Lapointe will come in and replace Lauren Smith with 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the second half, and the clock stopped.
I think that's a good move by Coach Panetti. Lauren's legs started to look a little tired, to get some fresh legs in there, and a very good player. Definitely a good move.
Yeah, another one of those strong first-year players for the Dolphins, and they have a lot of them on the women's side. Just 2 seniors will leave the team at the conclusion of this season, but with a minute and 45 remaining in the game here, Dave, it looks like the Dolphins will live to fight another day.
Yeah, barring some sort of monumental collapse, they will meet Brooklyn in Saturday's championship, and they'll renew that championship rivalry. Remember, Brooklyn defeated CSI 2 years in a row in, I believe it was 12 and 13. And CSI will look to return the favor, this time with Brooklyn being the higher seed.
Yeah, so the Dolphins looking to play the ball inside the penalty area, but the ball's going to be knocked away, but not out by the Lightning. The Dolphins look to put it towards goal, but the Lightning defense to knock the ball away, as it's going to be DiStefano with the ball, playing it out over toward the far sideline as Sandor's knocked off possession of the ball, but the clock's going to be knocked out of bounds with just 60 seconds remaining in the game.
And, Mike, one of the subplots, too, is that Lehman, the one team that they don't ever want to see again in the playoffs, is CSI. This is the 3rd straight year that CSI will stop Lehman's postseason hopes, twice in the semifinals and, of course, last year in the championship. So Lehman College continues to struggle against CSI in playoff action.
So Sandor with the ball. She chips the ball into the center of the box. It's going to be knocked away out of bounds. So it's going to be a throw-in for the Lightning deep inside their own territory with just 20 seconds remaining in the game.
And, Mike, the Dolphins will go to 7-0 all-time in CUNY semifinal games. There was a time when there was not a semifinal game because there were so few CUNY schools involved, but when the Dolphins have been here in this moment, they've always been successful, and that'll include this one again.
So the College of Staten Island will win this game by a final score of 4-2. They will have an opportunity to defend their CUNYAC championship as they're able to bounce back from 2 early Lightning goals to score a big goal by Kirsta Anson that opened the game up to a 4-2 lead. And, Coach, the Dolphins never look back.
No, they got the job done, guys, and I think that's all that matters. They kept their, backs against the wall, 2 goals very quick. They could have collapsed, but they stayed poised, and they get the job done.
And, the Dolphins win this game by a final score of 4-2. And, Dave, it's a nice victory for the Dolphins, but not really what the Dolphins are looking for here in 2016.
No, I think they treated this game as a business trip. On the bus, too, they were very loose, but they said, listen, when it comes time to focus, this is the game that we have to win. This is not the one that we want. The one that we want is Saturday. And CSI was a favorite. On paper, they were a heavy favorite in this game, and they lived up to that billing tonight. Now they have to go as an underdog and beat the top seeds on their home field on Saturday for the right to go back to the NCAAs, and that's what the goal was at the beginning of the season. That's what it was during the regular season, and now in the postseason, the focus has not changed. CSI is going to look for another championship on the women's soccer side.
So the College of Staten Island emerges victorious by a final score of 4-2. Cosenza with the first goal. Rodriguez with goals numbers 2 and 3. Kirsta Anson with goal number 4. Nicole Mignot made the big saves when she needed to. And the Dolphins came out strong and won this afternoon's game, or this evening's game, I should say, by a final score of 4-2. So just to set things up for the weekend, this Saturday afternoon, the Dolphins will play against Brooklyn College in the women's final round game. 2 o'clock will be the opening touch. 1:45 will be the pregame show. We'll have an announcement for you on CSIDolphins.com as far as how to get information and how to tune in to that game as well. The men's game will follow. Lehman will play Hunter College. So for Dave Pizzuto, John Tardy, this is Mike Babusky saying so long. Thanks for listening. Once again, The College of Staten Island wins this game by a final score of 4-2. Have a good night, everybody, and thanks for listening.